Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bros Show. I'm Connor and I'm joined by Tanner and Hasten.
Hello, I am Tanner.
This is episode
24.
15? 24? Holy crap, 9 episodes I didn't know about. I think this is 15, right?
Was it 15? I thought it was 14.
Is it 14?
No, I think
I have no idea.
Pretty sure the last one was 14, so we're on 15, guys.
But guys,
That's
it is
cool.
420.
Oh, frick, it's officially 420. We started recording at midnight of 420.
Oh, no, it's 421 now.
Oh, 420 was yesterday?
It's okay, that's just more weed we can
yesterday.
smoke, right?
We're just like, 420. Wait, it's 421?
Smoke weed. You can smoke weed any day.
We're allowed to talk about this. It's legal.
Anyway, that's our topic for the show, actually, is 420.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of yesterday's 420?
You know, all the celebration.
I actually only knew because at my work, people were saying it. Like, I
really?
wouldn't have known if people weren't like, 420.
It's funny.
Blaze it.
It's funny because it's a big thing everywhere. I mean, I guess it's kind of a big thing here, but we live in Utah.
Yeah.
like
Nice.
the most.
It's not even legal here yet.
Yeah, and it's like barely medical.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't, you could barely get it medically. So like Utah's not the place to be smoking weed.
No, yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's not like...
and it's not something I would ever really want to do either.
No.
You know what I mean?
I
So-
picture like somewhere where it is legal, like Colorado. It's like, is it just like people just blazing it everywhere?
I think it really is.
High.
Hi.
They're getting high.
Right. Hi.
420.
420.
I think it's legal in most states. Though.
What we're actually going to talk about this episode is Star Wars. Star Wars Celebration was just 2 weeks ago or last week. That
We
explains
are
it.
an entertainment podcast.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, we are an entertainment podcast. We celebrate everything in the world of entertainment, whether it be movies, video games, theme parks, pop culture, all that jazz. So if that sounds like something you'd like to listen to, then please check out our episodes. We have 15 of them now, and we are officially, I'm happy to announce, we are officially on your favorite podcast services. Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, there's one other. What other one day? Oh, Google Play Music.
We finally get to say what all the cool podcast people say, where they're like, go watch us on anywhere you watch podcasts. Literally, I don't think there's one place that you can't.
Stitcher.
Sorry, I think we all watch it on different spaces too, because like I watch it on Apple Podcasts.
I do it at Google Play.
Yeah, I do Google. I mean, I watch it on everything kind of.
Yeah,
but,
YouTube.
Stitcher's the one that I'm still getting it on, which I'm officially submitted to Stitcher. It's just a matter of getting on there now. But we are on all the, I'd say, biggest ones probably, which is awesome. I'm glad we can finally say that.
That is a perfect segue into our social medias. Guys, go check us out on Instagram at Super Basement Bros, and then go check us out on Twitter at Super Bros Videos. We post and tweet pretty regularly, usually when there's like news, and especially we post some funny stuff. Like we actually had a pretty cool tweet. I know we're like kind of small, but we got a cool Shazam tweet. So yeah, just go follow us there, guys. And then like you said, we're on Apple now. So you have so many ways to find us. So
yeah, and so along with we ask you please subscribe on YouTube and stuff like that. Alongside that, please go follow us on all those podcast services. Yeah. I think Apple you can subscribe and then also leave a review if you want.
I think you can subscribe on.
I left a 5-star
Google Play.
review.
Yeah, we also got a 5-star.
I only
review
left
from
a
somebody
1.
named Handy Randy. I have no idea.
Wait,
who that
really?
was.
Is this a joke?
No, I'm dead serious.
Handy
It was
Mandy.
Grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Are
serious?
you serious?
Yeah.
His name's Handy Randy.
No, I made his name Handy Randy, and then he left the review.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, that's good though. That's funny.
yeah.
It's our grandpa.
I don't think we got a review.
You can subscribe on the Google Play also.
Yeah, you can subscribe on Google Play.
How many
Speaking of that-
podcasts do you think have all 5-star
All
reviews?
5-star reviews.
None.
That's true.
Well, it's us.
As of right now, guys, I don't know if you know
We're the
this,
most
but
rated.
we have...
We're the highest
all
rated
5 stars.
podcast in the multiverse.
Yeah, in the we don't have one negative review.
Not one.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think we've gotten a dislike on a video. That's how impressive it is. Wait, have we?
I think we have.
I don't think we have.
I think
really
we
don't
have
think
one.
No.
Who would have done that?
I think it was me by accident.
What a-hole.
Just kidding.
that was us. We disliked our
Just
own
kidding.
video.
Yeah, and guys, go do it. It's free. I mean, it's cheaper than Comic-Con.
Well, and it helps us out. We would really appreciate it if you guys
Yeah.
did, because it helps us out. It gives us a little bit of motivation, and
then, like, if you're like me, I mean, put it on while you're working. Maybe not at work. But, like, that's what the greatest thing about podcasts is, like, you don't have to watch.
yeah, and that's what's awesome about being on these podcast services now is you don't have to worry about, oh, do I have to have the YouTube video
have to
on
click
all
off.
the entire
Yeah.
time without having YouTube Premium or whatever.
Wasting your battery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every like counts, every share counts. We really appreciate that. Every single one of those we really actually appreciate. So we thank you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what we're planning to talk about this episode, which is Star Wars.
Star Wars!
Star Wars Celebration happened, as I mentioned, and there was a ton of news. We got the very first trailer for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which is the new title. I'll get to your guys' thoughts on that in a minute. Also, the next day we got the first official trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order by Respawn. And then the third day we got news on the TV shows and the Mandalorian coming to Disney Plus. And then there's also going to be a Diego Luna led one from the guy from Rogue One.
Is he going to be the actor?
He's going to be the main. Yeah, it's going to be the main character. And then K2SO is going to be in it, the robot, which
Diego
is awesome.
Luna.
Yeah, he's the main guy in Rogue One.
That's his name, Diego Luna.
That's his actor's name. Andor Cassian.
Andor.
Cassian Andor is his real character.
So it has to be before because he died.
Oh yeah. Well,
spoilers. Sorry.
Gosh.
For Rogue One that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It died like a nuke. What was it?
It was the Death Star blowing.
They were like holding each other. No, it wasn't the Death Star blowing up.
Well, not the Death Star blowing up.
Because remember they were like on that planet.
Ship.
Something like crashed into the. No, it was like a core or something, like the reactor core.
Something. It doesn't
went off, and then it was like they were like holding each other.
If you know how Rogue One ends, let us know because we don't.
I hope the girl's in it too.
Jyn Erso, that'd be cool.
Jyn Erso. Yeah.
Anyway, I want to get your guys' thoughts on the title first and foremost of Episode 9. What do you guys think of the Rise of Skywalker?
Do you mind? I wonder if they kind of spoiled it.
That's what I'm.
Because like with the trailer, I'm like, is this just the rise of Rey? You know what I mean? Like, is it like it's the rise
Rey's
of
not a Skywalker.
Well,
for what we know,
because J.J. Abrams didn't show that, and then
what I wanted to say, real quick,
what's the guy's Ryan Johnson?
Guys, by the way, spoiler alert. Just real quick.
Good idea.
So, spoiler warning: we're going to be talking about Star Wars.
We'll talk about The Last Jedi, Solo, probably Rogue One, Force Awakens.
If you guys haven't watched the recent Star Wars, just don't.
What's wrong with you? Why are you watching this?
Why are you watching it?
Anyway, you haven't seen the newest Star Wars. Why are you watching this podcast?
Sorry, I just want to say it. So continue.
Yeah.
So J.J. Abrams came in and he did this setup for The Force Awakens, and it was like he had an idea where he's going. Ryan Johnson comes in and then he kind of screws up what J.J. Abrams might have been thinking, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't J.J. Abrams say
just like screw it?
I'm going back. Yeah.
He's like,
that's what a lot of people
Skywalker's back from the dead.
Yeah, from what I've seen, a lot of people have been thinking if J.J. Abrams is kind of... A lot of people agree with you. They think J.J. had his idea, Ryan Johnson came in and did his own thing, and it was very divisive. We all know this. Last Jedi was one of the most divisive movies of all time, especially Star Wars, obviously. And I know you weren't the biggest fan. I
didn't hate it. I want to be known as like
still
the person
Star
that hates
Wars,
it. I thought it was okay, but I didn't like some of the things they did in the film.
Yeah. See, I loved it. I loved the direction Ryan Johnson took with it. I thought it was unique, but I also love what J.J. Abrams does, and so part of me does wonder if J.J.'s planning, as he now gets to do Episode 9, if he's kind of like, well, I had these ideas for Rey that Ryan Johnson didn't do. I'm going to go ahead with them.
Why wouldn't they just do the same director for all three?
That's what I wondered originally.
I will say, from the trailer alone, it seems more similar. It seems more similar to Force Awakens, the trailer.
It does.
Just like the feeling.
And I loved Force Awakens.
Force Awakens
is my favorite Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, especially with what they did with the universe. I think it was a great continuation of the Star Wars. I can't wait till we're out of the whole Skywalker thing anyway.
Oh really? I love the Skywalker.
I love the Skywalker, but I do want.
I would love to see like live action Clone Wars stuff
because you guys are saying like Force Awakens is your favorite. Honestly, for me, Rogue One is my favorite.
Rogue One's is really good.
Rogue One has been my favorite because it's brand new characters. You know, like there's just mentions of like Darth Vader and stuff, and like but there's not a whole lot of people we know.
Rogue One is really good. I think. I have a tough time deciding what my favorite is.
The only problem with Rogue One I have with me is like I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
the whole movie
that is
a
problem.
Like they have to die.
They're gonna die more than likely.
Well, that's why I'm excited to see what happens after this trilogy. You know, like where we get like spin-off characters and we get.
Well, Ryan Johnson, as of right now, at Star Wars Celebration, they announced that Star Wars will be taking a hiatus after Episode 9.
So probably like a year.
It'll probably be, I think, longer.
I thought they announced like a third one.
They did. So they announced Ryan Johnson, who directed Last Jedi, is getting his own trilogy apparently. But it's supposed to take a while after Episode 9. And then also the Game of Thrones creators are getting their own I think, movie or 2. And
They're just gonna kill everyone off.
Yeah.
Slowly.
The only reason
Rip fans' hearts out.
The only reason I doubt it's going to be more than a year is just because Disney. Like I don't think they'll let them.
I mean, as of right now, though, if you
Disney's
think
great,
it,
but they want that money.
Yeah, if you think about it, though, Episode 9 comes out December of this year.
Right.
They haven't started any sort of. There's no production on another movie. So if you look at, even if they announced one right now, they'd have to get that filmed. You're looking at 2021, early 2021 at that point. We're for sure not getting one in 2020, I don't think, because that would be such a quick turnaround time. But I really do hope we get one end of 2021, because I don't want to have to go too long without them, you know? And they're such great event movies. They're like the Marvel movies.
I think it's good because we actually talked about...
Well, Marvel might be going on hiatus too. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Which,
well, I mean, they're not, but
they're
like...
not, yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars, we talk about it in one of our episodes. I wish I knew which one. But we talk about companies doing this, because we were talking about if Marvel will burn out. We talked about if Star Wars would.
That was an early one.
I hope that Star Wars is taking a longer hiatus than a year. Mm-hmm. I don't think they will, but I hope so, because we were mentioning how, like, we noticed, because, like, Solo is one that also divided fans. Mm-hmm. Solo was a very...
See, I like Solo
movie.
too.
Yeah, I did too, but it didn't get the greatest sales.
Well, I think
for a Star Wars movie.
Well, I think what happened with that, though, is that it was like a Solo... I don't know. I think a lot of people didn't like the actor.
Yeah,
like that portrayed him, and then like a lot of it was like, yeah, it's Solo, I don't care.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a Rogue One situation.
Yeah, well, but Rogue One was like the Death Star.
Well, and I think it just had a lot of misfortunes with the director.
There was a lot of problems
fired
with that movie.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
It was a tale of two directors for sure. Tale of two creators.
You can tell. We talked about it. How you can tell. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of scenes that you're like.
It has my favorite post scene.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, or like end of the movie. Frick yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. That was awesome.
But yeah, real quick, because like I said, I hope that I don't think Star Wars' quality is going down at all, but I do hope they can take a little bit to like evaluate where they want to go with the series, because right now it does seem like they're focusing mainly on the Skywalker.
Yeah, one question I had for you guys that I was thinking a lot about is, you know, a lot of people. I hear a lot of people say Star Wars needs a break. Star Wars needs to be more of an event type movie. It only comes out once every few years. You know, and I was thinking about it, I'm like, I agree that they need to be quality over quantity, but how come Marvel can pump out so many movies and everyone's fine with it, but Star Wars, everyone's kind of like, no, there needs to be more time. Like, what is your guys' thought?
I think it's different. Like different people are different. Like they think that it's different things. Because like I think Star Wars should be every year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, I think the way they're doing it right now is perfect.
Me too. I agree.
I mean, you have a secondary director directing these other films. I mean, really, the main line's getting 2 years.
That's what I want. Yeah, like
I mean?
It's not like we're getting the main trilogy every year. It's every other year.
And these Marvel movies, like that's another thing. I mean, you have all these different like TK Waititi. What's his name?
Taika Waititi. Yeah,
he did like Thor Ragnarok, and that was great. And then you had other people working on.
Where they can literally be working on like 8 projects at once.
Yeah, I mean it's
unlike
Disney.
Star Wars.
It's not like they're don't have enough people here to make this work.
They own the world.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I agree. I kind of wish Disney, like, don't get me wrong, I want quality over quantity, but like if you look at Marvel, you know, and I know a lot of people don't like every Marvel film, and I get that. I'm the same way, but like
they've been nailing it.
They're
though.
mostly
like
mostly quality, right?
The past 10, maybe. What was the last bad one?
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say. The thing is I don't think
Thor
there's
Dark World.
Yeah,
Dark World.
Like, that was forever ago.
The most recent mediocre one was maybe Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, and even that, like, I enjoyed that.
It's
I still enjoyed it.
I didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp all that much, but even Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's a solid movie. Like, you know,
like I would watch it again. I maybe like it for me. Ant-Man and the Wasp was very similar to the first Ant-Man. Like, of course, I never watched it, but it's just like it's like
yeah, exactly. So it's like, if Star Wars did something along the lines of Marvel and they had the mainline trilogy, I think what they're doing is great. Mainline trilogy, and we know the Skywalker saga is coming to an end. This will be the last Skywalker movie, as we know right now. And so it's like, why not do something like you give Rian Johnson a trilogy? It's coming out 2021, the first one. Then he gets 2 years between every movie, and then in between those you have the spin-off movies. You have Taika Waititi come in and direct Star Wars Ragnarok.
I would hate to
Star Wars Ragnarok.
I'd hate to compare it to this franchise.
No, Tatooine!
It's coming
Surtur's coming out from Tatooine!
Oh god, we gotta call in Thor, freaking Marvel Star Wars crossover.
What that freak?
You have to watch the Ragnarok.
They've been the same series
universe,
all along,
yeah.
just in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If that's another thing people tend to forget about. Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Could be in the same timeline as Marvel, just Marvel's in the future.
True.
Just
After Thanos.
Oh my god, it's true.
Yeah.
That's where the midichlorians come into play in Marvel.
And Watto and Jar Jar Binks.
But I hate to compare it to this franchise, but it's very. I hope it takes a turn like Call of Duty, because Call of Duty, as of right now, has a 3-year life cycle. Treyarch is able to develop their game and make it as good as Black Ops 4 because they have plenty of time. You know, they have all of Infinity Wars here and all of
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, so it's like if Star Wars did a system like that, where like they've been doing, where it's like the trilogy, a spin-off, the trilogy, and the spin-off. Even if they did a trilogy, spin-off, trilogy, it'd be better because then you're like waiting and anticipating that next part to the trilogy, because the spin-offs don't really connect ever.
The thing that was weird though is they did. Well, I think it was Solo. They did episode 8, and then Solo was like
a couple months
later. So what
that
they
was
should have
too
done,
much.
they should have done December.
But it wasn't
make
supposed
Star
to.
Wars November.
A December movie.
Didn't they make
December, November
Wasn't
movie.
Solo supposed to be a December? Then they changed it.
So from what I believe, yeah, I remember that Star Wars Solo a Star Wars Story was announced for December 2018. It was last year, right? And then they decided to move it up to May because they wanted to test out a Star Wars movie during the summer, because they haven't had a Star Wars movie during the summer in forever.
And I think
It
didn't
go well at all.
Granted, though,
It came out a few weeks after Infinity War. Like, what was Disney thinking? Like, those are both their movies.
I think it didn't go well for a Star Wars movie. It still did great.
Yeah. Oh, it still did great. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like Star Wars is a lot like Marvel. Like when people say, "Oh, this Marvel movie didn't do great in the box office," they mean for a Marvel movie. It still did amazing.
Solo did amazing at the box office. It just, in terms of Star Wars, didn't perform.
Well, and I think for Disney, it's more along the lines as they care more about how people receive it than themselves. I think Disney knows at this point that will make money no matter what. I mean, they look at like Dumbo. Dumbo was the #1 movie in the world for the longest time, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
You know?
Another thing that's weird too is like I feel like Solo came out. And I know Last Jedi was divisive in terms of fan reception, but in terms of box office, it was huge. And so it's like Solo came out, and it was the first one that took a hit financially for Disney. Not majorly, but it took a financial hit slightly. And it's weird because I feel like almost immediately they ran for the after and like panicked and were like, "Frick, we got to put all the other like." There was rumored, it wasn't confirmed, but it was rumored there was a Star Wars Obi-Wan spin-off set for after Episode 9, which would have been awesome, and they just scrapped it because they were worried, like, oh, people don't want the spin-off movies. But it's like, you have these Marvel movies, and then, like, Infinity War makes billions at the box office. You know, it's huge. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, and it's like...
Barely makes 50.
It makes half of what Infinity War made.
Not even half. Maybe a fourth.
I mean, I think it made probably like half, and so it's like... Why didn't they run for the rafters? And like, oh, people didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have to panic. And
I think it's because they
ones.
know the fan base. The fan base for Marvel and Star Wars is very different. Star Wars fan base is, like they're hard to please. The Star Wars fan base is a very hardcore, long-bred fan base, because the Marvel fan base is a lot different than the comic Marvel fan base. Because the comic Marvel fan base is very small. So they care a lot about.
Well, it's huge,
but the Marvel fan base in general is very big and just kind of like general people. And so like the Star Wars hardcores are harder to please than I think the Marvel.
Yeah, that's true, and that's true because there was an entire trilogy of Star Wars movies that people hated, which is crazy for us because we grew up with them and loved them.
And but then you look at like Marvel, and most Marvel. I mean, I don't think there's been a Marvel movie that's not accepted and it's not loved. Maybe,
I'm curious.
Maybe Iron Man 2.
I want to pull up and see if any of the Marvel movies... I mean, I know Rotten Tomatoes isn't the best thing to go off of. I don't. But, like, I wonder if any of the Rotten Tomatoes scores for Marvel movies are in the bad area.
Maybe Iron Man 2.
3.
I think maybe it would be Iron Man. Iron Man 3 got better reviews than Iron Man 2, though. Iron Man 2 was the one that I remember was a big deal as being bad reviews.
I always thought it because Iron Man 2 was the one with the
electric
right?
guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
I thought he had a good one.
Well, yeah, it was good. We thought so.
3 they brought up.
So it looks like the lowest rated one on Rotten Tomatoes is Thor: The Dark World at 66 still though.
Still 66.
Still 66.
So it's still above.
That's still in the fresh area, which for me, like, I would put Thor: Dark World lower than that. But like,
well, I don't know. Like, I mean, we watched it again at the hotel or something, and I won't lie. Like, once again, it's not bad.
It's
a
not
Marvel movie.
Horrible. Yeah, it's just
like
not...
I wasn't like, oh, I have to watch this. Like I was still enjoying it.
But then you watch it though compared to like Thor Ragnarok.
That's true.
Or something, or
but
like
that's also a hard
Guardians
comparison.
2 or Guardians 1.
For me, it's
these
hard.
aren't even close.
Yeah.
It's hard with Marvel for me because like they had to start off differently than Star Wars because when Marvel started off, they weren't part of Disney. I mean, it was like
it was
with
Universal.
Iron Man and like you can't to compare the first Iron Man to like Infinity War.
Thor Dark
it's very
World,
hard.
though,
They're very different.
Thor Dark World though was in the Disney era.
It was like right at the beginning.
It was very beginning because it was Avengers. I think was the very first Disney.
How do we get on to this?
yeah, sure. We got to go back.
Well, no, that's fine. I mean, we're still talking about
Yeah,
because this links with what we're talking about with Star Wars.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is crazy that Disney bought freaking the Marvel Cinematic Universe as it was happening, and then they're like, "Oh, let's also buy Star Wars." Like,
let's do both.
Let's buy Star Wars. Oh wait, we should buy Fox.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No,
we were talking about Star Wars being on the hiatus and why people want break from it, but I really disagree with this because I bring up the point of when the prequels came out. After the prequels, people were pissed because there was such a lack of Star Wars for the longest time.
10 years without a live
So
action movie.
long, like not even just live action stuff in general. Like we eventually got Clone Wars, but that was canceled. There wasn't a lot, because Rebels didn't come out until the new trilogy started coming out. So it's like there was Clone
cartoon,
Wars, and that's it.
Yeah, it was Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But even that got canceled.
It went for a while.
It went for a while.
But still, what I mean is like
6
as far as
seasons,
because like now there's like that random Star Wars show right now.
Yeah,
on Disney.
Resistance, which was
Resistance.
horrible.
Rebels just ended. There's the Mandalorian coming out. There's all the spin-offs. There's the trilogy. There's tons of
so much Star Wars. Yeah.
where if you can't like not have Star Wars, right? It's kind of like Marvel, but Star Wars was on a long hiatus, and people were like Star Wars. The same thing's gonna happen if they go on a long enough hiatus. People are gonna be like, bring it back. It's like, well, then why did you want it to go away?
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's gonna be the same story of if it goes on hiatus, it'll be like 5 years from now we won't have a Star Wars movie and everyone will be like, where's Star Wars? It's like
it's kind of like I bring up another movie series which might get on. I hope we don't, but I remember I saw credit to IGN a article about Pirates of the Caribbean. When the newest Pirates of the Caribbean came out, they were like, it's time for Jack Sparrow to hang up his hat. Like we're sick of this. I guarantee you give it a couple of years and they'll be begging for it.
I want it right now.
Yeah.
Why can't they just announce a new one?
That's the thing is like,
I love event movies.
I love pirates.
Yeah, me too.
Like
we need to have a Pirates
and it's not
episode.
like they're ever doing bad. I think the last Pirates of the Caribbean did really good as far as like sales and
Did good.
reviews,
Yeah, it wasn't the
like,
best, but yeah.
But it's still and I think especially with the ending, it was very hype and
we need to talk
got
about
people
that.
excited.
Yeah, it's tough because on one hand, I love event movies, and event movies I mean like Star Wars, the Marvel movies,
Harry Potter.
like Harry
Avengers
Potter,
Endgame, which comes out the week that we are recording this, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
on
that's
Thursday
right.
we'll be seeing the opening screening, which is freaking awesome. I'm pumped for that, and stay tuned for a predictions episode too. We will be doing a predictions episode. And the thing is with like Star Wars is like I don't want to have to see it not be a thing for forever, like or not forever, like a few years. Like I don't as long as the quality is good, like I know I want great quality obviously, but they can do that. Like as Marvel has
They
proven,
can do like an Ant-Man.
they need to do what they should do is like I was saying, have Taika Waititi take over a spin-off movie and do something completely unique. And then boom, there's that, and then you get back to the main trilogy or whatever, and then go to another spin-off.
Like I mentioned before,
really.
the episode where we talk about it, we talk about how they could do a horror-esque Star Wars. They could do pure comedy. They could do thriller. They have so many options for the series. And even if they did, like I'd say Solo's closer to an Ant-Man. I'd say a little like better
than it, a little.
But
better,
they could do
still.
one on par like with an Ant-Man, where it's kind of just it's there. Like a Star Wars movie that's just there. Like the Obi-Wan one could have been that. Boba Fett one.
I would hope Obi-Wan one would be
Well, yeah, like a
amazing.
Boba Fett one could have been that, because like Solo is a big popular character, but if it's not delivered right, it's
Yeah, I would love an Obi-Wan movie, and it would be so cool if Ewan McGregor returned because he is at the perfect age for a
mid-age
older Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That would be so cool to see him back as Obi-Wan too, because he was
He has
probably my
Pooh Bear
favorite
this
part
time.
of the prequels too. Like I love the prequels actually. I know that's a controversial statement.
yeah,
for
and
people,
it's
but-
They
also
have some
'cause we-
amazing villains, like
Yeah.
General
Darth
Grievous,
Darth
Dude,
Maul.
he's freaking the best. He's the coolest looking.
Oh, he's
villain.
so freaking cool.
Darth
Jango
Maul,
Fett,
what I
Darth
think
Maul.
arguably be one like the best, if not
That's why-
besides the Darth Vader.
And it shows that I feel like there's a lot of people who hate on the prequels.
Just to hate
even
on
they liked a lot of those characters because we clearly saw the reaction when Darth Maul spoilers
Pops
pops up in Solo. everyone lost their mind.
This is
oh my god.
This is definitely a topic for another day because I think this boils down to like people just hating.
My lightsaber.
Yeah, I feel like this boils down to people just hating on stuff just to hate on it. Because I think deep down they liked it, but I mean, because like you can watch the prequels again. Sure, there's some bad acting on like Anakin's part. But otherwise,
yeah,
like, what's the
don't get
problem?
me wrong. Like the prequels has cringy parts, especially when you get older and you look at it with a different lens. Like the whole Anakin Padme relationship is pretty cringy, but
they did not deliver that.
There's some. The prequels have some of the coolest worlds ever in
and
fiction.
Scenes, dude. Like Duel of Fates.
Naboo is beautiful. Geonosis is cool.
Geonosis.
And they go under the water.
The underwater,
the Gungan city.
Yeah. I think that's in Naboo.
I don't know if
the Gungans are on Naboo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's close, if nothing else, but yeah. And then there's also one of my favorite, the lava planet on... Dude, episode 3 is so cool. The fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin with the music. John Williams scored the Battle of the Heroes. Dun, 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 dun,
Copyright claim.
Yeah.
Well, even the Jedi home planet didn't exist in the first ones. The first 3.
Coruscant.
Coruscant.
Yeah.
Coruscant is awesome.
With the troopers when they made the clones.
Yeah, the clones are awesome.
Oh, yeah, the water
planet. Yeah, the water planet.
My favorite clone is right there, Clone Commander Cody. Like, and some great characters.
Jango Fett was the first clone.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people hated that like Boba Fett was connected to the clone army, but it's like, who really cares? Like, it's not like it doesn't ruin Boba Fett.
Yeah, and
to me anyway, I guess.
Is the Mandalorian Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
He's a they have a similar.
He's a Mandalorian, so he is one of the same people as Jango Fett, but he's not a clone. He's not like...
Yeah, so Jango Fett was a Mandalorian, and then he started the clone with the...
Yeah, they just used Jango Fett's like genes, body and genes.
Because he was like the prime human, and then they cloned off of him.
Okay.
That's why if you've seen like Commander Cody without his helmet on, he looks like Jango Fett.
Yeah. And then, so, the Mandalorian, though... From what I understand, is just a Mandalorian who... But the thing is weird because we'll see there... I think there's going to be a connection because in the synopsis for the Mandalorian, it brings up that like Jango Fett and Boba Fett before him, the blah 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 is a bounty hunter who... Like it makes it sound like there's some sort of connection.
Well, yeah, because Mandalorians...
Besides the Mandalorians, though, I think.
Yeah, because it says Mandalorian on the back of it.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they were like cousins.
No, because like when I played Knights of the Old Republic, the video game on the Xbox...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. They talk about the Mandalorians. They're like mercenaries. So like I think they're like bounty hunter-esque.
There's a great Mandalorian arc actually in the Clone Wars that they have like over a few episodes. Which is pretty cool.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I can't remember.
Okay. But speaking, I want to go back to episode 9. I want to talk about the Rise of Skywalker because we officially got the subtitle. People have been wondering what this was going to be forever. Did you guys see the stuff where people were hoping it would be like a continued sentence? So it was Star Wars, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
The Force Awakens.
To go do something.
That'd be a stupid title. To go to the planet.
Yeah. But people were kind of hoping they'd connect. We officially now know they don't. But it's The Rise of Skywalker. A lot of people interpret it as Rey, and that JJ is going to try and connect him, like, he's Luke's daughter, or something like that. Or she's Luke's daughter.
Can we talk about our thoughts on the trailer first?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. My prediction is that it's Kylo, by the way. But anyway.
In the ship?
No, that Kylo is
a Skywalker?
Well, because he is a Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Technically.
True.
But he goes by, he's a Solo, his name, but he's technically a Skywalker through Leia. So I think it's the Rise of Skywalker.
So you think Rey's actually just no one?
I think Rey's actually no one, and I think Kylo will be, come to the light side and be the Rise of Skywalker.
See,
he will
I have problems with that just because I feel like that's too obvious.
Yeah.
What I don't like I like it what they're doing, but I don't like if that happens and then they just bring back the Emperor. I'm gonna be a little bit annoyed because Emperor's cool to bring back, but you're going back to the prequels just to pick out a villain just to make Kylo good.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It would just bug me.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what I want necessarily, but that's just what I predict is going to happen.
I don't know. The gloves, so the trailer's kind of...
Yeah, let's talk about the trailer as a whole.
So in the trailer, it starts out and it's just Rey. It's got like cool dialogue. I don't know by who. I think it's Yoda.
It's not Yoda. No, all the narration, I believe, is Luke.
It's Luke. It shows Rey, and then it's her just standing there, and then it shows a distance like dust coming towards her. Mm-hmm.
And it's
you can tell it's like a ship. I think
it's Kylo's ship from what people are.
Even though for me it looks really similar to Darth Vader's.
But Darth Vader's dead.
Well, I know that, but like it's a very similar shape. Like, 'cause
we looked at it. Me and my buddy at work looked at it, and it didn't look exactly like his ship. Though.
Like Kylo's?
Mm-hmm. Like something was missing.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look like
this.
his ship.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because after I talk about the trailer, I want to say who I think it is. And so it shows that, and then it goes back to Rey, and it shows her kind of start charging it, and she starts running fast.
That shot, by the way, is freaking.
And it's
dope.
like, and then it
she
shows the
jumps
ship.
over it.
Yeah, it shows the ship getting closer and closer, and it gets really close, and then she jumps over it and like pulls her lightsaber out. I'm probably assuming to like cut the wing or like cut into the ship.
Who do you think? Whose ship do you think it is?
So, I do think it's Vader.
I think it's Phasma.
I don't think it's Phasma.
I think they're going to bring back Phasma.
Still alive?
I forgot to mention, it shows a shot with gloves specifically. Very distinct black gloves.
That was so stupid
Leather
if they
gloves.
kill Phasma the way they did. They built her up to be this insane, and they just kill her.
She's already dead. I think she's dead.
But they never showed her die. They just showed her drop.
Well, she's on her fall, yeah. I think she's dead.
Yeah, maybe.
But
maybe she'd be like a Bobo, where it kind of just like, they built her up and then it killed her.
Yeah, exactly. Because people were pissed when they killed Bobo the same way. They killed him in he literally died
Sarlacc.
freaking Sarlacc pit, and it's like, what the frick? Like he just dies.
Yeah, his was even worse because he was just like,
because at
Han Solo like
at
shoved
least
him.
Phasma got.
Oh,
a
what
cool
if
fight.
it's the Mandalorian?
In this thing, they connect him
and they
to the
connect
movie?
him to the TV
That'd be
series.
cool.
The reason why I think it's Darth Vader's, I don't
not,
think it.
but-
No, yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily Anakin, but the Force is an entity thing,
Yeah.
and so is the
rules of
dark
the Force
part.
are very confusing.
So I think because I remember in Knights of the Old Republic, and I know it's not canon, but there's like entities of darkness, right? Like Dark Force. I think that it's the entity of Darth Vader. Like, because Darth Vader's entity leaked out of him, because like that's how he turned good all of a sudden at the end of this first trilogy, and then he threw the Emperor. Is because the entity like left him, because it's very distinctively Darth Vader's gloves. Like Darth Vader has very distinct leather like lines, and it looks very similar to his ship. It's like the TIE fighter, but like curved. And I don't know why, because my first reaction was like, it's Darth Vader, like Rise of Skywalker, and like. Of course, like it would be stupid if it was actually Anakin. That's why I think it's more of like the entity, and that Emperor Palpatine, who has the power to raise the dead, raised like his entity, and it's still alive, right? Because
I don't know why he would, because he betrayed him.
But he didn't
That's
raise
the thing.
Anakin. He raised the entity of Darth Vader, the
Yeah,
one who
but
was loyal to.
But
him.
Darth Vader was the one that betrayed him.
But that's the thing, is because Darth Vader like came to light and like threw him off.
Yeah.
Almost like the entity left him, like the darkness left him that consumed Anakin. And I think pretty obviously it's the Emperor. I mean, that's very
Well, the laugh is
distinctly
the
his
Emperor,
laugh.
Yeah, it's well, they brought out Palpatine, the actor, at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
It's him.
Which we can talk about, like how that's possible.
Well, real fast, I want to make a prediction on the TIE Fighter thing as well. And I can't take this as fully my prediction because I've seen other people's theories on this. But from what I've seen, a lot of people think that it is Kylo in the ship. But they think that it's not Kylo trying to kill Rey. If you notice, it seems a little weird if you watch
scene.
that Rey's running away from the TIE Fighter and like not like trying to watch out or trying to fight. And if you watch, when she does the flip, it doesn't necessarily look like she's going to cut through the TIE Fighter.
And she's not going to make the...
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, well, she pulls out her lightsaber, but it doesn't show like it's going
I
toward
don't
it.
think she's
holding
gonna cut into him.
Well-
I think she's gonna cut the wing to
Well,
stop
I know.
him.
What I'm saying, though, is that people are pointing out that it doesn't look like she's going to attack it at all. So
Just jump
people...
over.
So what people are thinking, from what I've heard, is that Kylo and Rey team up. And this is Kylo training Rey.
Or she's like jumping on to get on with him, and they're heading.
Yeah, or it could just be a plain training sequence where Rey.
Because it does look like before that part of the thing, it looks like they may be on like a
desert planet.
No, like it is a desert planet, but it's a the races.
yeah,
pod racing.
Pod racing could be. Pod
does look
racing
like a-
too. I mean, the jet would make sense.
There was
but
stuff
she
that
could
was
have
pod
fallen
racing.
off a pod racer or something, and
Or
then Kylo's going.
They
for
could have
her.
gone back to where Anakin won the race, where it's all destroyed now and it's desolated.
Wasn't that Tatooine, right?
That was Tatooine.
That was Tatooine.
And remember, where Anakin won the race in his pod race, because they're going back to each place that Darth Vader visited to like feel the Force or something. So he's training her there.
Yeah, my prediction is that it is Kylo. I mean, it's not my full prediction, and this is what a lot of people are mentioning. But Rian Johnson set up in The Last Jedi a lot of stuff about, one of my favorite scenes is when Rey and Kylo team up on that scene and take out the freaking guards. That is one of the dopest scenes. Whether you like Last Jedi or not, that is a dope scene. And he has the whole scene where he's like, join me, and he sticks out his hands. He's like, come with me. And Rey has this moment where she really has to think about it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the coolest moments in the movie, and everyone's like debating. Like it goes like 10 minutes without answering it, and you're like, is she gonna do it? And she ends up not. But they don't really show that they're like angry with each other necessarily. Yeah. And so part of me wonders if in the Rise of Skywalker they end up getting together and realize. I think the whole point of the Rise of Skywalker...
Well, real quick, to talk about what you were saying just barely.
Real fast, though.
Okay.
I think the whole point of the Rise of Skywalker will be to find the middle ground. Because they keep talking about like this gray area that isn't the Sith or light side. And so I think they're going to team up to find like this gray middle ground.
Well, and like you were saying where they were like teaming up, I think the only reason they didn't is because there was rush and the miscommunication. So I think otherwise if they would have had more time, they would have. And people still pointed out that even with less Jedi... There was the gray Jedi symbol. Remember, like
it was the books.
Yeah, it's the symbol of the middle people, the gray Jedi's.
Well, there's in
the Gray Order.
In Luke's house or whatever. There's books on the wall that are
the Gray Order
for the gray Jedi. I think they're called. I can't remember the name of the books.
Some order.
I don't know, but they're books based on these people who consider themselves gray Jedis or something. And they're people that like aren't Sith and aren't good. Jedi. They're in the middle.
And so people keep bringing that up now because. I think that is true. I think the only way for balance is in between. And I'm watching the trailer again. It does seem like she's prepared for the ship. Like it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
And she's like
almost like
she's
for it.
She knows she's.
And another thing people pointed out is why didn't he shoot? If he was trying to kill her, why didn't he shoot his guns?
Unless his weapons are like
he could have been like shooting at her as he drove it, but in the entire time he's just flying right at her. So it's like, why would he be doing that? If he's not trying to kill her,
yeah, and that's why I think what's he trying? She knows she's a Jedi.
Yeah,
she knows. Yeah, he's gonna.
That's why I assume it's Kylo and they're teaming up, but it very well could be anyone and they're just training. But I think it is going to be Kylo, and then I think overall I think the story is going to be about Kylo's rise back to the light side, which I know seems kind of predictable, and. I wonder if there will be some sort of thing where it happens very early on that he rises back to good, to where the rest of the movie's about something completely different. Because this could go one of two ways, right? It could end in the traditional way where Kylo stands his ground, he is the bad guy, right? And he dies the bad guy. Or they will resurrect him, essentially, bring him back to the light side. If they bring him back to the light side, so is the bad guy going to be the Emperor then?
My only problem with the theory of Kylo actually turning good is because I think it's realistic, but in the trailer specifically, it shows Kylo rebuilding his mask, using his red lightsaber, killing people with stormtroopers. I'm just watching it. I forgot. It shows Kylo running through, and he clotheslines him, but he doesn't kill him. He doesn't stab him.
People notice.
Yeah, it's the
side.
It's the handle.
The handle actually stabs him.
Okay. That's the thing. I think that's the first time you actually get to see his lightsaber being used.
Yeah, like
he's actually killing someone with his side.
Yeah, because he clotheslines him into it like.
Although you could just go.
Yeah.
So it shows him stabbing some sort of. It shows him stabbing some sort of enemy on like a red planet.
Yeah. So this is another really cool thing people.
With the red planet looks like the one from Savage Opress. Remember the witches?
I don't remember.
Like the red planet.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is a lot of people are pointing out that I totally forgot about these guys. And we haven't seen them for some reason in The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens, which is the Knights of Ren. The freaking Kylo's
It's been teased since the freaking Force Awakens.
We haven't seen it since. People are thinking that the guy he stabs is a Knight of Ren. And so if he is stabbing one of his own guys, that's right there showing like...
Well, no, because next to him is a stormtrooper.
Well, yeah, next to him, but that guy's not in a stormtrooper outfit.
No, I know, but next to him is a stormtrooper shooting somebody. With Kylo.
Yeah.
Why would the stormtrooper be?
Well, if he persuaded the stormtroopers to his side, as we've learned with the Force Awakens, the stormtroopers are normal people. Finn was a stormtrooper. He could totally persuade these people in any way he wants. Like if he goes back to the good side, there's plenty of stormtroopers who are good people and not bad.
What I think we should continue doing, like we're already doing, is I'll slowly go through the scenes and then we talk about each one.
Yeah.
So after that, it shows Finn and Poe in like a desert planet.
Poe's freaking outfit looks dope.
Looks like Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
They have a new.
There's a new BB-8,
a new robot
droid.
Yeah, his name is
Dio.
He's like square-ish, right?
Yeah, it's a weird one.
The next scene's big. It shows Lando flying the Millennium Falcon.
That's right. So Lando is officially back, which is crazy.
And he has the Millennium Falcon back.
Yeah, and did you guys see the meme going around of in Solo, Han is talking to Lando, and Lando young says like, "I'm gonna get my ship back," and then Han goes, "Over my dead body," and then it shows Lando in the ship, old, like from the trailer.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
horrible. It's like, oh, too soon. Not Han. What do you guys think of Billy D. Williams being back though as Lando? Because that actually is a pretty big deal. Because where has he been for Force Awakens and Last Jedi?
Well, like he still owns Cloud City. So
theoretically,
yeah, but I think that he was always pretty neutral. Remember, he helped Darth Vader capture Han Solo.
Well, that's because he kind of had to.
Well, yeah, he had to, but then again, I think he just doesn't like to get involved in that kind of affairs. You know, he's always been kind of a rogue on his own. So I think that's why. I think he's just been kind of. I mean, so is Han Solo. Han Solo wasn't doing anything, remember? He was being out in the middle of nowhere in space. Yeah. And the events of Force Awakens took place in a couple days, you know? So it's like he didn't have much time to like let Lando know.
Yeah,
I think that's why Lando's back is because he found out about Han Solo's death.
Another thing people were pointing out is when Kylo was rebuilding his helmet, is they were like, is that JJ kind of doing like an FU to Rian Johnson?
Like, you broke his helmet?
You broke his helmet, I'm building it back.
Did he break his helmet when he was like smashing it into the wall?
Yeah, there's that awesome scene where his theme is playing super loud and he just smashes it up against the wall. Like,
it's like in the elevator or something.
Yeah.
He's like going up and he's like...
Yeah.
It's after like snow.
This is right here. So
there's
pod
speeders
racing.
and pod racing.
This looks just like pod racing.
Which I wouldn't necessarily say they look like pod racers, but it does look like pod racing.
The setup.
And like the area they're in especially looks very similar to the pod racing area.
Do you notice what comes out of that dirt?
What?
So when they're pod racing, the dirt pops up, and look what comes out.
A stormtrooper?
Are those stormtroopers?
They're
shock troopers.
Jetpack
ones.
Jetpack
Cool.
We haven't
troopers.
seen that in the series.
Oh,
That's
and then
way cool.
we see, and the next scene has Poe on like a pod racer-esque.
Look, that
with
scene
C-3PO.
looks, and Finn.
See, this is where I think
it looks like Mad Max.
This is where I think Rey may have fallen off with them all.
Oh, okay.
She's not on there.
Yeah.
I think it might be like a I wouldn't say like apocalyptic race, but almost like a Mad Max-esque where they like slam together.
This scene looks
steel.
very reminiscent of Return of the Jedi when they're on Jabba's palace ship, his yacht he has, remember? And they're out, and when Boba Fett dies, when they're about to drop Han into the Sarlacc pit.
Right.
This area looks just like that, especially the ship they're on.
Yeah, so after that scene, it shows like the jetpack people.
Then we see the medallion.
Then it shows the medallion, what is that the one?
So people think
Han
that this
gave
is
to Leia?
Well, people think this is the medallion that Han and Luke earn in.
Whose do you think it is?
Well, some people are hoping as a joke that it's Chewbacca's, because Chewbacca didn't get a medal because he was an animal.
Oh, they're finally giving it to him.
That's so sad.
I know. So they did give him a medal. That was perfect. That was great.
I don't know whose hand is this. It looks like Leia's, right?
Yeah, it looks like Leia's.
So it could. The sad thing is,
Han's.
it could be either Luke or Leia's, or Luke or Han's medal.
I bet you it's Han's.
Because she's related to both.
Yeah, I bet you it's Han's because it's her husband or ex-husband or whatever that died.
Yeah.
And so I bet you it's this. I really hope that we get this tender moment where she's looking at his medal and we get a flashback kind of scene of all of them together.
And she's like, "I love you."
Not younger. I want them to still be old. I want it to be like 2 years before The Force Awakens happens. And I want it to be Han, Luke, and Leia all together again. Because we didn't get
You mean
any
Leia, who's
scenes.
been dead for 20 years or 5 years now?
Yeah. Well, I think they probably shot a scene beforehand.
Yeah, and I'm imagining they're gonna do a really tender, kind of like the Paul Walker thing, where she's like off in the distance.
It's, I see you again. Comes
Because
in
you should have killed her in the space.
I know.
But no, she didn't. Remember, she forced.
I know.
No, that's
it
what
was
he's saying.
ridiculous.
Oh, they
He said he
should
should've.
have.
That looked ridiculous.
That was a horrible scene.
But me and Connor, this is another topic for another time about killing people who recently died in movies, like killing them off. It's like if they killed Paul Walker.
That would have been
Granted,
a great kill off, though. Like
was
that would have been
was
fine
she
for
dead
her.
by the time Last Jedi came out?
Yeah.
Or
Remember, she had died.
okay.
That's why they filmed
Okay.
her going back.
No, that wasn't why. But yeah, no, I see. I think that scene was really dumb. Like, I really wish they would have just killed her in that scene, because that would have been. It would have been like, okay, problem solved.
Yeah.
Boom. Like,
And
now
I
we
think
can
the
move on.
truth is
now
they
that she's
probably
alive.
would have.
Now that she's alive, it's like we come into all these tough situations. Like, what are they going to do? Unless they filmed a total natural send off for her, it's going to be weird. They're going to have some CGI Leia walking around.
It just looked so ridiculous.
Well, it does. The next scene
like,
is
yeah.
the next scene is Rey and Leia hugging. And so I'm imagining it's when they're saying goodbye. It looks like a really like nice shot. There's like the sunset and greens in the background.
Yeah.
Either like after or something, or when they're sending each other off. Then
it's pretty crazy that
the next scene they're all together again, which it's Finn, Poe, Rey, C-3PO, BB-8, the new droid, and Chewbacca all together.
Yeah.
Which it's been a while.
This is going to be
at the end of Last Jedi is when they all met back together.
Yeah. This scene is
R2D2.
Who the freak? Oh yeah, where is R2D2?
Well, remember after Force Awakens, he used
he woke up
the map, and then they took him with to.
He's in
Luke.
Last Jedi a lot, but then
remember he went with them to get Luke
on Octo or whatever. I don't know though, because
there's Chewbacca, R2D2.
That is a good point.
Done with R2D2.
Is R2 in this trailer at all?
No.
That's
but
weird.
The thing is, he might have got left with Luke. He's Luke's droid.
Luke's dead.
No, I know, but because remember Luke died at his own planet.
Well, I know. So
I'm imagining,
stranded
yeah, R2 was probably there.
He's just like,
help! But he's a droid. He probably just powered down. No, because like I said,
that'd be horrible. They kill R2D2 off screen.
No, but like, yeah, Luke died on his own planet.
They ask him at the end of the movie. They're like, hey, "Where was R2?" They're, "Oh, he died on Octo in the last movie." You didn't,
real quick,
you didn't guess that.
You didn't see it right behind as Luke is like just disappears and his clothes just drop. R2's like,
yeah. they retcon it like how George Lucas did with all the old ones, where in the special edition of The Last Jedi when it comes out, they like put this really crappy R2 like green screen in there of him like
he's like R2
hangs himself.
It's just like a droid, and he's like,
the porks are just staring at him like,
or you just see. No, so you know how the shot is like you see Luke sitting out on the rock like. And you see the horizon. You just see so
in the background.
No. So as soon as Luke's robes drop, all of a sudden you just see a noose drop and real quick.
It's just R2
like his silhouette is his lifeless robot body just.
No, it's not even a lifeless robot because he's like there's no neck to hang, so he's just like
it's just
like tied at the middle.
And he's
like,
beeping. He's like beep beep.
Yeah, you just hear like.
Wow!
And then he falls off of that and bounces off the rock and falls.
Lands on a bunch of porks and splatters them. Disney took a dark turn.
Goodness, guys, here's your first scoop that R2D2 kills himself.
The first robot is suicide.
My gosh, like you know how dark that would be for a Star Wars movie? They just
I think the
R2D2 suicide. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, if we remember,
he says his first word before it. He's just like,
Master.
Goodbye.
Or he's like, the sweet release of death. I've been alive for a millennia.
Well, you just Luke like disappears, and then you just hear sweet release of death, and you're like, who said that? And I was like,
he's like, I've witnessed all the deaths of all the Skywalkers.
I have no reason to live. Powering down. He takes out his own batteries, like.
Yeah, but like he asks one of the porks.
It's just double A's.
Yeah, and it's like this horrible sponsor for Star Wars. It's like
Energizer.
He goes into like a pool and he uses his little shock thing to like shock the pool like a toaster.
Or they have like this horrible scene like on when Michael Scott kills Oscar. It's like. They have R2 go and like kill Rey or something in her sleep.
Or no, Rey like strangles R2 with Luke's robes.
No. On a quick side note, me and Hasten met Oscar yesterday.
That's true.
It's pretty cool. We got to like shake his hands.
And I think if we get done in time talking about Star Wars, you guys should talk about Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said,
at this rate, we're never gonna end.
No. Okay. The really sad truth of it is the only people that really think or know Luke is dead is Rey and Leia because they felt, but they don't know. Remember, nobody really knows that Luke's dead because they just felt like the Force, but he was on his own planet alone.
It is kind of weird.
They saw his hologram and then he was just gone.
It is kind of weird to think that like Poe and Finn
just went invisible and disrobed.
He just really he was just
freedom
skinny dip
jumps off. Yeah, it was just a quick cut.
You just see like Mark Hamill's nude butt as he jumps down. Like,
J.J. Abrams' excuse is gonna be, they forgot to put in the scene where he strips and jumps into the pool.
Yeah, JJ's like, what do you?
He didn't really die.
Luke didn't die. Like he just
he was
to go.
He was skinny dipping with R2.
Yeah, and then R2 killed him.
And then R2 realized he's a robot and short-circuits
and it kills Luke. Could you imagine? They go back to Octo to like check and see on R2, and they just find a naked Luke,
like a bloated, decaying Luke's naked body in the pool with like R2.
What happened? R2's like, and it just pops up in the video. It's like
You're my only hope.
It just pops out.
Yeah,
a
it brings
video.
up the layup,
No,
and then it just skinny dipping.
You're my only hope. And then it shows a video of him like getting electrocuted in the swim, like the swimming pool. Like,
It shows this horrible video of naked Luke. Just
naked chubby Mark Hamill. Like,
whoa, don't be rude to Mark Hamill. You might be watching this.
no. I'll at Mark Hamill on this. This is what happens to you in the movie.
We figured it out. That would be horrible.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah. Anyway,
it is. I was gonna say it is weird that Finn and Poe never met Luke.
Nobody did
besides Rey. That is really strange.
Rey was the. Well, I guess Chewbacca.
Well, and I guess Kylo kind of got to see him, like a projection of him, but not really.
not real.
Well, yeah, he got his hologram, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people saw his hologram.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think Poe and Finn did too.
Were they there?
Yeah, remember? Because then he kissed the Asian girl.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "What are you doing,
Rose?" Yeah.
I really hope that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, who do you
Finn
think? Do you think there'll be a love? Who's Rey gonna end up with? Because I'm shipping Rey and Kylo. That would be dope.
I'm hoping she doesn't end up with anyone. She doesn't need to.
I think.
Why do they have to make a love story in every Star Wars movie?
But I honestly do think that Finn and Poe will get together.
No, that's not gonna happen.
I don't know. They had like a romance.
Yeah, maybe. No. I think
Finn and Kylo will be together.
I think Finn and naked, lifeless Luke.
I think
he's gonna be like, "Yes, Luke Skywalker."
And then R2 will just drop out a dildo.
R2 will just pull out the camera. Like,
I think it'll be C-3PO and BB-8.
Oh my!
C-3PO and BB-8.
Chewbacca and C-3PO.
Oh my!
Realistically, I think it's gonna be Finn and Rose. I kind of hope it's Finn and Rey because I feel bad for Finn. Like I'm like,
he loves.
Dude, come on, you got to get Rey. And then
he had Rose.
Yeah, I am part of the rebellion.
That's you guys. As you guys know, I hate that.
Yeah, you didn't like Rose,
whole
right?
series. Yeah.
Rose.
It seems
Rose
such a stupid and pointless.
It was a very forced.
She wasn't that great. I mean, to the story, she wasn't that important. I will say.
And it was, in my opinion, that was a really weak point of the show. Is it was a very forced love affair where it's like. Because remember, he was like going to save her or something. He was like, getting shot. He's like, I'm coming for you.
That was Rose. Rose came to save him. That was an awesome moment. Remember how cool it was? Because we thought Finn was going to die.
Finn was going to die.
He was going to kill himself.
Yeah, he was going to go suicide to save everybody.
And I will say that would have been an awesome scene.
He would have saved everyone.
Saved everyone.
Instead, she just comes on, boom, and then everyone's just dead.
Yeah, and then Finn's like, I was going to kill myself. Like, what the heck? Yeah, and then the thing is,
R2-D2's like, what the frick?
That would have been just such a great ending for that character.
Yeah, and at this point, the thing is, too, is it's like, if Finn ends up, like, they set that whole thing up, it would be a little weird if Finn didn't end up with Rose at this point.
And then Rose is just alone.
Just like, F you, like, you saved me, but
and it's like,
Rey.
I have nothing against Rose, but I don't really like her character.
No, her character's not that great.
Like, she doesn't really have, I remember her backstory was she was, like, in the ship or something.
Her sister was in the ship
and then her sister died, and then she was, like, a part of the crew and, like, stopped Finn from escaping or something.
Yeah, Rose didn't have...
I don't know, and then...
We'll see how Episode 9 handles
her. Yeah, we'll see.
But I hope
we still have the Rose pop figure that you gave away.
Oh, do you?
Because you were like, I don't want this.
Yeah, I think Courtney has it. I'm hoping Rey and Kylo hook up because that would just be a cool relationship in my opinion. But I'm with Hasten. I agree. I don't. They don't need to have every character be in a relationship because
And Star Wars has always been pretty good at that though. I mean, they've never really forced anything.
Yeah,
like
Luke,
because Anakin and Padme had to make Luke and stuff. The only one that was ever really there was
not your fault.
Han and
Solo and Leia, but that was because it was the first Star Wars.
What's so cool is like
it was the only
Leia. Theirs wasn't like a happily ever after relationship.
Well, and remember, it was actually a really
like they
unique...
straight up like just leave each other and they're not together. By the time Force Awakens happens, they're just like.
Well, and the great thing is you don't even after the first trilogy, you didn't even know if they got together. Remember, they just like there. They were like
and then also. In Solo, we get to see Han hooking up with other women and like freaking what's her face from Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like plus, it was really. It was.
Hazen watches too much Game of Thrones. What were you saying?
I love you, Emilia.
It was a really unique love story too in the first one because it was the love triangle, and then one of them found out they were siblings. Yeah, that's true. Because like that was actually like a first of its kind of like thing.
Some people want Poe and Rey, and I'm like, Why?
They don't even know each other.
They haven't even like had any sort of scenes.
I think they met in Last Jedi.
It's so that is something super weird too. Is it's weird to think that the three main characters, two of them didn't meet until the very end of the Last Jedi. Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree with Hasten. I don't think there needs to be a love affair. I think it'd be better if there wasn't. Honestly, I think it would be kind of forced if they did. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be fine if they did.
It'll probably be Finn and Rose, and I think that's it.
Because that's part of the predictions I wanted to do. Is I think realistically, I think it'll be Rey and Finn. I hope kind of for Rey and Kylo, but I also would be totally fine if it's Finn because I want Finn to get Rey. Like I want Rey to get Finn because that's kind of what was set up in Force Awakens. But yeah, and then how do you guys think the Emperor is going to come into play?
I think it's Snoke.
You think it's Snoke?
I hope so.
Something to do with Snoke.
I hope Snoke come back. I hope something with Snoke because that was so dumb.
The way they killed Snoke was
I did not like that. That was my least favorite part of Last Jedi.
I loved it. I thought it was so cool.
You thought it was cool that he couldn't detect Kylo's...
Yeah, because it makes
Kylo, he's the most powerful Jedi on the
supposedly
planet. He couldn't detect this lightsaber moving next to him.
That's the thing.
And he didn't hear it open.
That's why I love it. Is because that's supposed. Who said he's the most powerful Jedi ever?
The problem is
like the Emperor.
Right? The problem is he trained.
Right? That's the thing.
He trained Kylo. He obviously has powers.
No. Snoke did not train Kylo.
I know Luke did. Kylo. No, but then he trained him in the dark arts.
Well, still, but that's the thing, right?
He's the Sith
I like
Lord,
to think
though.
this is what I like to think.
Yeah,
though.
You can't
he
be
literally is.
He's a Sith Lord.
He's the one who.
Here's the thing. Then how did Darth Vader kill the Emperor?
If that's how Darth Maul died, I'd be pissed.
Darth Maul died even in a more
he fell way. Just like
he got sliced in half by Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and then fell.
No, Darth Maul makes sense because he got killed by a Jedi. But the thing is Snoke was just sitting there, and then the lightsaber was like.
I disagree with you guys. Darth Maul died by a Padawan. Obi-Wan. He was not experienced.
But also,
Obi-Wan was
while also being tired out and weakened by Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, but the thing is you got to look at Kylo Ren. This makes me feel like Kylo Ren is becoming one of the coolest villains of all time because if he's able to kill Snoke, that means he is the most powerful Jedi to ever live. That's the thing is like nobody.
But it wasn't just Kylo.
No,
it was Rey's distraction.
First of all, no one has ever said Snoke is the most powerful Jedi ever lived. We don't know a thing about Snoke. That's why everyone was pissed when he died because they were like, who is Snoke? We have no idea. There's no answered questions to who Snoke is. For all we know, Snoke was this freaking loser guy who only had power because he had power, right? It doesn't mean he has to be powerful. He was
how would he even get to the, how would he rise how would he be the Sith Lord?
That's it. Well, yeah, he probably has power in a way, but he's clearly, if he wasn't able to detect Kylo turning that, Kylo is more powerful than him.
The truth
I think that's cool.
My prediction is that Snoke died too easily. Yeah. I think there's more to Snoke than what we think. I think that Snoke could be a projection of the Emperor and how the Emperor looks now. Or because the thing is, that was my first prediction when we first saw Snoke on the Force Awakens trailer, where he was like, whatever. I was like, oh, it's the Emperor because he's all burned up, right? But like, I think that's even more possible now because like, think about it. Think about it. Like, he got thrown off the thing. He obviously didn't die, but he must have got seriously messed up. It was he was getting electrocuted.
Obviously didn't die.
What? No, because of the trailer. Now we got his laugh.
Well, yeah, but going back to that, I think he's a Force ghost. I don't think the Emperor's back.
But like I said, if the Emperor was back physically, he would have gotten messed up. Electrocuted more, hit his head a couple times.
Maybe with Snoke being killed, it throws off the Force, and so the Force is like, we got to do something here, so they throw in the Emperor.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing.
That's a cool prediction.
That's another thing about the Star Wars universe is
the Force has to be balanced,
there always has to be a good and bad. The Sith will never go away. So once Snoke died,
that's why in this
unless
movie,
it's neutral.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I think it's going to be this whole gray Jedi thing because ultimately, I think it would be cool. It is. I'm thinking because I'm with you. I didn't think Snoke was the Emperor, but what I thought was that Snoke was Darth Plagueis. That's what a lot of people thought.
I think that's
because Darth Plagueis was the Emperor's master,
who knew how to raise the dead.
Yeah,
if Darth Plagueis got killed and couldn't detect that lightsaber.
That's the thing, right? And so that's why I'm thinking
he's been alive for thousands of years.
That's why I'm thinking what it is I think it's possible Snoke's very much alive, and I think Snoke is Darth Plagueis possibly. And he knew Kylo was going to do that.
And I think he let him.
And he let him do it or something. And then
he's just going to raise himself.
And so what
if it was just
Snoke does is Snoke is just like, Frick, all right, if Kylo's going to abandon me, I'm going to resurrect frickin' the Emperor.
Or not,
resurrect
maybe
my Padawan.
The truth is Darth Plagueis could have gained so much power over the years and years. Like, think about it. Darth Plagueis has to be super old. Because if he's the Emperor's master, the Emperor's been around since the freaking prequels as the Sith Lord. Mm-hmm. So, and Darth Plagueis, I think it very well could be him because, like, I think that's very true. I think he felt the strength of Rey and Kylo together, their force alone.
And if he
was like, I could easily kill them both because they're both young. They don't know what they're doing. They're not full Jedi. He says, I could easily kill them right now, right? He's powerful enough. But he said, if I let them kill me and give them hope to work together, they could become the most powerful entity. So he let him, because he was obviously distracted. He's you can see his lightsaber and
I disagree, but
the Force is very powerful. I don't know. I think it's too easy.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was easy, and that's why I personally liked it. I definitely understand why people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I loved it because I was like, in that moment, the Last Jedi became something I didn't expect. It became everything I thought it was. It became everything I thought it wasn't going to be. Like, it turned all of my conceptions on its head.
Instead of killing this big bad boss, why wouldn't they kill Finn? Or kill, do these other 4 or 5 things that we talked about that they did badly.
I think Last Jedi might get a better light after the next one comes out because I think people might realize how much it did and how much it
and that's the thing.
Realized
there is the possibility. I think a lot of people have piled on The Last Jedi, and I get why. I'm not saying, if you hate The Last Jedi, that's fine. I don't care. I liked it. But I think people are leaping a little too soon because imagine seeing The Empire Strikes Back when that first came out in theaters. The second of the original Star Wars trilogy. There's a lot of horrible things that happen in that movie. You might be thinking, wow, I can't believe they did that, or I can't believe they did this. And then you find out all these answers in The Return of the Jedi, right? You find out all these crazy things.
I can't believe they killed Obi-Wan.
People might have been thinking, I can't believe Luke was Darth Vader's son. How is that possible? That's bullcrap. Because
I can't believe the Yoda died already.
A lot of people don't know this, but at least I'm almost 100% sure about this. I'm not 100%, but George Lucas didn't know that Luke was Darth Vader's son until he wrote Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. When A New Hope was happening, they didn't know if they'd get a sequel. They didn't know if they'd get a second one. So he had no idea that they were father and son. He made that up on the second one. And so there's a lot of things that happen in between movies that you don't know until you see the next one, right? I think there's a lot of things in The Last Jedi that could have happened that are being set up for the Rise of Skywalker, or the opposite.
There could even be a thing like the Rise of Skywalker to where it could be about, very well, Kylo and Darth Plagueis, or even the Emperor. The Emperor could be Darth Plagueis. Because I remember when I first watched the prequels, that's originally what I thought. I think Darth Plagueis has ascended past human bodily, and he knows how to just make himself a Force ghost anyway. Because he's inhabiting different bodies.
That's why the Force is so
inhabited the Emperor.
Confusing, because also we've seen a lot of people complain about this in The Last Jedi too. Is Yoda comes back as a Force ghost. Mm-hmm. So the question is there's at one point Yoda controls a bolt of lightning to destroy
the tree.
To destroy the tree.
He can control.
And so people are questioning so can
are Force ghosts basically there, but it's not physical?
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions because it's if
that's
that's
could a
true,
Force ghost Force choke me?
Yeah, because if that's true, Snoke very well could be a Force ghost living in a piece of crap body.
Well, and if it's true, think about it. Obi-Wan, as powerful as Obi-Wan was, he wasn't super powerful. He was able to have a Force ghost. Mm-hmm. Many people are able to have Force ghosts. Mace Windu, Yoda, all these people. So Snoke is very well possible to have a Force ghost. Well, we don't know if any Sith are able to have Force ghosts.
That's another thing too. Does everyone get a Force ghost?
Or I think they actually do mention it that you have to have a certain amount of power.
I don't know.
Be powerful enough to conjure. Because remember, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I'm gonna look it up because that's a good question.
I think Qui-Gon Jinn mentions that he was taught how to do Force ghost.
You taught how to do Force ghost?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
Wait, who said what?
That Qui-Gon Jinn taught him how to do Force
no, in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, I'm going to teach you how to commune with Qui-Gon, Obi, or something like that.
Yeah, so it's something along the lines. I do know, I'm pretty positive that not every Jedi gets a Force ghost.
Do you think she got a Force ghost?
Ahsoka?
Maybe.
Dude,
she was pretty powerful.
It'd be cool if Ahsoka somehow
Well, remember she
connected.
is. Ahsoka appeared in Rebels. I don't think she died.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying. Like, it would be cool if she made an appearance in. I wonder if she's still alive by the time of Rise
I don't
of
know.
Skywalker.
She might have. I haven't watched Rebels, so I don't know.
Execute Order
So,
66.
This is what fandom says about Force Ghost. It says the Force Ghost was a soul and essence of a deceased Force sensitive who denied the will of the Force upon death, yet was able to interact with the living, albeit not physically. Some Sith Lords learned similar techniques, which in some cases allowed them to physically interact with their environment. So it does mention physically interacting with an environment. So it's like, why wouldn't you just want to die?
Well, that's the thing. No,
He's a Jedi.
Because then you lose your physical ability to be human. Like, having a body is a lot different. That's why I think Darth Plagueis, when he was alive, because all I know is, you can watch the scene again, Emperor Palpatine, when he tells Anakin about Darth Plagueis, he's very like, I'm Darth Plagueis. He's like, there was this Darth, he was amazing. Like, he's basically talking about himself, right? And so I immediately was like, oh, Darth Plagueis is him. Because
he's the Sith
yeah,
Lord.
because
Some
the
people
thing
do
is
that.
people, we know the Emperor as Emperor Palpatine, but that's his fake name.
Dude.
We don't know what his real name is. It could be Darth Plagueis.
This is something that I really appreciate.
what was his
about the
Darth
prequels,
name?
too? Like, I think that seems really cool.
It
like,
brings a lot of
when,
lore.
When Palpatine's sitting there and they're watching that crazy weird show, and Anakin's kneeling next to him, and he's just like, Darth Plagueis was the most powerful Jedi to ever live, or something. And he's talking about him in such a cunning way. I love the guy who plays.
Well,
the Emperor.
and why would
He's
he
still alive?
Yeah, he was at the
How
celebration.
old is he?
He's probably old. I'm gonna look and see.
Well, and like, why would he say that? You know, like, what was the point of saying that? And so I feel like Darth Plagueis maybe, like I said, ascended past the body, right, and was able to have so much power of the Force.
Ian McDermott is 74, so he's actually not too old.
But I feel like he has enough power that he could use his Force without dying to become a Force ghost and inhabit bodies. That he died a long time ago and inhabited Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah,
And made
possible,
him dark, and then created the Siths. And Darth Plagueis has been controlling everything all along.
Yeah.
Then he inhabited a portion of him, inhabited Darth Vader, and then it left him.
Yeah,
And then same with now Snoke.
Yeah,
And then when
another
he
thing
died-
too is, like, if we take what the Emperor said as gospel, which we shouldn't necessarily, because he obviously could lie,
And it could change.
But like, he did say he mentions that he killed Darth Plagueis. He killed him in his sleep, or something like that, right? And so if what he's saying is true, why would if Snoke was Plagueis, why would he bring back the Emperor in 9?
Right. Well, not only that,
If he killed him in his sleep.
If Emperor Palpatine did kill Plagueis, why would he kill a person who can obviously resurrect themselves?
Yeah, that's another thing too.
It's like killing them pointlessly.
Or what if you can't
Maybe
you
it?
can't resurrect yourself, but you can resurrect others. Maybe there's a rule to it, like if you die, you're dead, but you can resurrect others.
Yeah, but maybe you could argue that Emperor Palpatine stole his power. That's why he killed him. Because there's a thing in Destiny called like the sword logic, where like if you kill a big powerful enemy, you basically gain its power, right? And you just become more powerful. Maybe it's like that with the Jedi and stuff. I mean, look at some of the most powerful Jedi. Luke is the one who killed like the Emperor and like Darth Maul. That's why he became so powerful.
See, this is the thing too. Why I don't understand. Like, and it's okay if you think this way. Like, I don't care if you guys think this way, but that's why I'm a little confused by why people are so bewildered that Kylo was able to kill Snoke, because it's like Luke killed Darth Vader, like, or essentially dismantled Darth Vader helpless. Darth Vader, who is less powerful than the Emperor, killed the Emperor. It's like there's an entire history of characters who are the underdog beating the stronger person.
The reason why is because Snoke didn't even put up a fight, though. That's why.
Yeah, because
it wasn't just so much of like even one lightsaber hit or like one sort of like, oh, my lightsaber is obviously moving. It was just like he was clueless the entire time, even when he died. Like,
it was like a 5-minute long scene. It was just like
if it's slowly turning and then like it was sick.
That's why I liked it, is because
scene.
it showed the arrogance of Snoke. He thought he was so good that Kylo.
But I think he is. My theory is I like that we brought this up, because that is my theory, that he was so powerful, and because Snoke is the one who even tells Kylo, like, I can sense there's trouble in you. Like, Snoke sensed how powerful Kylo is, especially with Rey, and he's like, kill me to gain more power.
See, personally, I think Kylo is one of the coolest characters to exist in recent memory and like pop culture. And I think it's such a cool idea to have him go from like this. Think of him in The Force Awakens. he's kind of a child. Remember like the stormtroopers walk by and he's like destroying the stuff and they're like, whoa, like this he has a temper tantrum issue. It's such a cool idea for me to see him grow from this like kind of arrogant pupil to becoming the most dangerous Sith Lord to ever exist.
The thing is we haven't seen any proof of that because he still has.
Well, he killed Snoke.
Yeah, but the thing is, before that, there wasn't a lot of growth. Sure, he had started to...
Oh, I disagree.
But he had started to gain more trust with Rey and stuff, but he was still very temporary. I mean, look what he did to freaking Luke's hologram. He kept shooting it. He was like, don't stop firing.
That was after he killed
But still,
Snoke,
that's obvious, like, temporary.
Oh, yeah, he still has a temper issue. No doubt about it. But that's what I'm saying is in the Rise of Skywalker, we can see him fully become. Because
I feel like in order to kill your master, you have to become the master. Because like the reason why Luke was able to dismantle,
which I think he did,
Darth was because Luke had become a Jedi master.
Further, we've barely seen Kylo use his lightsaber.
Exactly, or
like,
let alone
barely
the Force.
seen him use anything.
The Force, even
he couldn't even really look at it. Like, what have we seen him do?
Well, we've seen him and Rey have some sort of connection.
That's like that. What else?
And think about it.
There's not a lot of fight scenes with that.
He couldn't. Even,
I love that.
He couldn't even penetrate.
That's
Rey's
just where
mind.
we see a little differently because you like a lot of the lightsaber action. One thing I liked with Last Jedi is that it was special. Because that is one thing that I think the prequels did a little too much of. Is too many lightsaber fights. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great, but
it's not just lightsaber fights. Lightsaber fights.
We haven't seen him show any fighting abilities other than like a couple scenes,
or just force power.
I mean, he fights Rey at the end.
He couldn't even penetrate Rey's mind when he was trying to read where Luke
doesn't he lose?
I mean, kind of.
Rey hadn't even gotten her force power.
Rey was a freaking Padawan and didn't even know she was a Jedi.
But once again, you guys are sitting here talking about the Rise of Skywalker. Is it Rey? For all we know, Rey's the most powerful person ever.
I don't think it's Rey. I don't think the Rise of Skywalker is Rey.
Well, no, maybe it's a birthright. Maybe that's how she was. Like, how did the Emperor become who he was?
She literally couldn't use the Force.
I do still think that the Rise of Skywalker...
She used the Force to summon the
lightsaber
in the Force Awakens.
That's
the Force.
No, don't get me wrong. I do think Rey is very powerful, but if Kylo was so powerful...
There's different levels of it, though.
But if
you have like Yoda level and like all these other higher levels compared to like just summoning a lightsaber.
But that's the thing is I don't understand what you guys are saying because Yoda died. He was killed. Obi-Wan was
killed. But Yoda died by old age. Yoda wasn't killed.
No, I know. Mace Windu died. I'm saying all these people, the most powerful Jedis, have died. Like,
well, I know, but
I don't think it's like one person has to be the Thanos.
Well, let's go back and look then. Yoda died to old age, so he doesn't count, right? But Qui-Gon Jinn was killed by Darth Maul.
Yeah, Yoda. Well, to be fair, let's clear this up. Yes, Yoda died by old age, but Yoda was dethroned and lightsabered by the Emperor in Revenge
but
of the
Sith. Emperor is just as powerful as Yoda.
Well, I know, exactly.
So the thing is like, let's talk about people who are less power, supposedly, right? So Luke basically dismembering and dethroning Darth Vader. Basically beating him without killing him. That happened.
That was after all his training, though, wasn't it?
Because Luke had gone through training with Yoda, witnessed Yoda's death, and had become so in his own element. Remember, he went and like slayed Jabba and got a taste of darkness, but he even became so powerful that he was his own master.
But that's the thing, though.
He was as powerful as Darth Vader. And Luke didn't kill Emperor Palpatine. Darth Vader did, who was as powerful as that.
But that's the thing, though, is you're forgetting that Kylo was trained by two of the most supposedly powerful people ever to exist, Luke and Snoke.
He was
trained by Luke, who literally defeated Darth Vader.
My problem is Rey is arguably, I think Rey is very powerful because she instantly learned the
I think she's going to be the most powerful in this movie.
But
and that's why I think it's excusable that
Rey, but she wasn't at the beginning of that.
Well, and here's the thing too.
She became powerful over this last movie, not in The Force Awakens.
But, no, I actually disagree because Rey, unlike other Jedi, didn't have to like do baby steps. She was instantly able to block her mind and use force. Mm-hmm. Like, remember, to get out of the shackles, she was like, "You'll let me out."
I take it back to Rey uses the force a lot in The Force Awakens. She literally convinces the stormtroopers to let her go.
This is my problem though, because Rey wasn't able to kill Snoke. Rey couldn't even get out of her shackles or do anything when she was around
guess
Snoke.
Who killed Snoke? It was
Kylo. But Kylo couldn't break into Rey's mind, so she's obviously more powerful than him.
I don't think
because they were battling and she was winning against his mind powers to control her.
I think
we're digging a little too deep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Is I think we're getting a little too hung up on who's the most powerful.
Okay.
I think it's very possible for anyone to take someone at a certain time.
Yeah.
It just depends, right?
I guess I think that for me, it's very possible that Snoke let them kill him. Because I think I think it's very possible that you're right. I think your theory about the trailer, how they're working together, and I think the Rise of Skywalker, it is talking about Kylo. And I think they're working together because Snoke knew they could become more powerful than anybody else has ever been. Right? And he was scared that if he didn't let them and he ruined it, he would ruin the balance. And
well, we've seen Kylo
conflicted
from the beginning. Since Force Awakens, he's been conflicted about who he is and where he stands. Maybe it was Snoke's plan all along.
Until this last one, right? Like the end of the last one. Because he just went straight up Sith and was like, I'm going to kill all of you.
Yeah. And so maybe it was Snoke's plan all along. Like, hey, if I live, he will forever be conflicted and will be pulled to the light side partially. If I let him kill me, he will rise to become the most dangerous Sith ever to exist. And to him, maybe that cause was more important.
I think I know what, too. Why? Because I bet Snoke's plan all along is he knew if he killed everyone he loved and trusted dearest, he would become the biggest Sith.
Which he thought he killed Leia.
He killed Han.
He killed Han and then tried
to kill Leia. But then he arguably, you could say, killed Luke because he's the one that made him use his hologram to kill himself. And then he killed Snoke, his master. He killed every single person who trained him, loved him, or raised him. Every single one of them he killed. Right? Rey didn't.
I also went. Does he find out if Leia was still alive? I can't remember.
No, he never.
Because he shoots her out of the ship, but he doesn't
shoots
see
her,
her
and then he's
back,
like,
I don't think.
and then he flies away, and then she forces
yeah. So I wonder if he even knows she's alive.
I don't think he does.
You'd think he'd be able to sense her though.
But I think he's so blocked up because he didn't sense when Han died because he killed him. I don't think he sensed it.
Well, he sensed it. His lightsaber.
Yeah, he felt it.
He sensed it. He was like,
yeah.
Oh,
is he
press the button. Sorry, Dad.
Oh, sorry, Dad. Oops.
Sorry,
I actually didn't mean to.
Am I still getting presents for Christmas? Don't tell Mom, please. Don't tell Mom.
Don't tell Mom. Please, me.
Dad, wait, come back.
He's like, I'm gonna go tell Mom. All right, that's it. Decapitates him.
Hangs.
And then he's like, I gotta kill Mom too now.
Otherwise, I won't get my presents.
Shoots her out of the plane.
Oh, this is a dark story. I have to kill my parents.
That's another thing that was cool about that scene is even though they didn't kill Leia, which I kind of wish they did kill Akbar, which is a pretty big deal. Like,
yeah,
Akbar
but they didn't do anything with it. It's just like they cut to him, and it's just like boom, he's dead.
Yeah,
I didn't say like it's a trap. Or
yeah,
anything.
that would be a meme though.
Yeah.
That'd be stupid.
That'd be very.
That'd be like when
It's
they
a
kill.
trap.
That'd be like before Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan. He's like, "Hello there," and then they kill him. You know, it'd be like stupid.
Partially. I don't know.
Me partially.
Partially, I kind of like the idea of characters just kind of dying and there not being like this super sad thing happening.
I agree.
Like I remember it was super cool in Revenge of the Sith. Like Plo Koon gets just shot out of his ship. Kit Fisto gets killed by literally Kit Fisto, my favorite Jedi, gets killed by the Emperor in one stroke. And I'm like, Kit Fisto, like no, my favorite Jedi, he's just dead.
Yeah.
He just dies. There's no like sad moment. Makes me like, no, my Padawan, like my apprentice. Like there's no sad moment.
Well, I even think one of the biggest ones is even Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Throws him out. It's within 2 seconds. He's like, and throws him out the window. Like it's not some big like mourn and they burn his body.
Yeah,
you know,
it was though because it was a betrayal.
Yeah, that one.
But what we mean is like we mean like this big huge scene where they're building up to it and then they finally kill him and it's like this big thing and then they burn his body.
Mace Windu's I think was built up
because they built up. They're like, you can do it.
Yeah,
do it, Luke, do it. And then he's like, I can't do it, And then he's like, yeah,
Anakin, yeah.
It was a big emotional thing.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I like
this is freaking Emperor Palpatine's plan with every single person he trains. Think about even Anakin. He forced Anakin to kill everybody who raised and trained him. Mace Windu
tried to kill Obi-Wan.
Mace Windu.
Well.
No.
He tried
I have the high ground.
Because remember,
Anakin.
he was going for Obi-Wan, and then he even killed his wife.
He tried to.
He killed every single person who he loved and raised. Like he's doing the same thing with Kylo Ren. Except he's controlling him through Snoke. I think that it's the Emperor all along. I think either the Emperor is Darth Plagueis or the Emperor is just himself and was controlling or higher up than Snoke.
It's going to be really interesting.
I think we're all wrong.
Yeah.
I almost bet we're all wrong.
Yeah, I hope we are. I hope it's something we don't see coming.
Because that would suck if we get there and everything's right and we're like, oh.
But, I mean, granted, that's kind of what people also want at this time. Because, like, frankly, a lot of the backlash to The Last Jedi was that it didn't go the way people wanted it to.
But that's stupid.
I'm okay with movies not going the way you want it to, though,
there's a joke about that in Gravity Falls, where right before they did the first season finale, one of the characters, Zeus, is like, if this doesn't line up with my fanfic, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, because it's a joke. Like, it shouldn't line up with what you think is gonna happen because you're gonna be wrong with 99% of the stuff.
And that's why personally I loved the idea of Rey being a nobody because
Me too.
Because it was for years since Force Awakens came out, even before Force Awakens came out, everyone was like, how is she connected? Who is she related to? Is she Obi-Wan's kid? Is she Qui-Gon Jinn's granddaughter? Is she like something crazy like that? You know, everyone was making these predictions. And so the idea of her being just a nobody is like, whoa, nobody really
and it was the best way to reveal it ever, where they do all this build up. They knew how much people needed this.
Yeah, they had the whole entire scene where she's like,
it's close up and she's like, who am I? You know who I am? Who am I? And it's close up on Kylo and he's like,
you're nobody. Your parents were drunkards and they left you for
like
dirt.
It's like this. Are you serious?
Does Kylo really know?
That's the thing. That's the theory, is that maybe he was lying to her because he knew if he told her she'd be like pissed or more powerful than him and kill him or something.
Yeah, it is 100% possible.
Because what if he was like, your parents were Leia and Han Solo, so I killed your dad. Then she would kill him.
My biggest thing is like, if she was related to someone, how come nobody has told her yet? Like, you'd think somebody would know.
Like, if she was Luke's kid, Luke would have told her.
Yeah,
you're my daughter.
There's no way she's Luke's.
If she was Leia's,
unless Luke is the worst father ever.
Yeah,
I don't think she's
unless he like did like a one night stand and didn't know he had.
Yeah, he's like, oh frick, what?
And like, if it wouldn't be Leia and Han because they would have been like, yeah, you're our daughter. We had 2 kids. It's like they're not gonna be dumb. And then after Han dies, she's still like,
you guys are twins.
Maybe it's something crazy like she is the manifestation of Kylo's other side. Or something crazy like that. What if she was
born out of the Force?
Like Anakin.
Like the Force literally just made
the Force birth.
Yeah, people think that Anakin too, like was born of the Force.
Yeah, if
Anakin's mom was a virgin.
Yeah, he was immaculately conceived.
Like a Jesus.
Like a Jesus figure, yeah.
Which is crazy because that could totally be Rey.
And people think... there's another theory that I've heard that's absurd, but some people think they wonder if Rey is Anakin's daughter or something like that. And that she was, like... only came to be after the time was right or something, or that she was I think it's that she is Anakin's twin and that they were born at the same time, but Anakin's mom hid her away, never told her about anyone, and then she didn't age or something like that, some weird thing. I'm like, that sounds crazy, but like, what if it's something crazy like that? That would be
could be. I mean, the Force is crazy. I mean, it could even be something as simple as like one of the biggest scallywags in the whole universe, Han Solo, had a one night stand and Rey was born.
That would be stupid.
You'd never know because like Han Solo wasn't with Leia. They got divorced. They broke up. Whatever. He might have gone off and then had Rey.
That would be
Your
really
mom's
stupid.
A prostitute from the brothel in Tatooine.
So that's the thing, though, and that's why Kylo couldn't tell her, because if he said your dad is Han Solo, he killed her dad, and then she would kill him. He wanted to make sure they could work together. So that's why he's like, you're nobody, because he really knew she was somebody.
Yeah, what are your guys' final predictions on that then? Do you think Rey is a nobody, or is she gonna get connected?
She's gonna get connected.
I hope she's a nobody. I hope they don't connect her.
I'm gonna predict that she's a nobody. I think that it would be a little weird if JJ came in and connected her after Rian Johnson had done the whole
I think he's gonna
thing.
completely flip all of Rian Johnson's things.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I just don't think he'd do that, because I feel like it'd be kind of awkward. It would be like, well, we set up all this stuff in Last Jedi for no reason then? Like, what was the... Last Jedi would...
What was the point of Last Jedi?
If everything flipped...
Besides to kill Luke.
Yeah, it's like, if everything flipped in The Rise of Skywalker, what would be the point of Last Jedi? It would be a pointless movie. Right?
Like, if they resurrected Luke, told Rey that he actually had real parents, it's like, literally, Last Jedi was the most...
Yeah, and we've already heard Luke's narration, so we know he's going to be in it somehow. I imagine it's a Force Ghost. But,
I'm sure he would be.
If, like, JJ just brings him back, it's like, gosh, that would be like... there'd be so many elements of The Last Jedi that would just be pointless at that point. You know, I think that would be a little strange.
I agree with Hasten. Actually, I hope that she's a nobody, but I think she is because I think there's too many evidence. I mean, the whole chess thing, her connection with Han Solo, Obi-Wan's voice talking to her.
Plus, how did she get her powers?
Exactly.
If she's not a connected, it would be the Anakin situation. It would have to be she was born into the Force, or like the Force chose her. Also, Rian Johnson set up in The Last Jedi that people might be able to get the Force by being good or something like that. Because there's the kid at the very end of the movie who brought the broom to him, you know. And so that was the first time we.
But then again, we don't know the kid's parents. One might be.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he might be related too. Yeah. But well, who would it be then?
This is why I wish I knew more about like Star Wars lore, because I could probably answer more of these questions of like how people get the Force or what the Force is. But yeah,
who's it gonna be then if she is connected?
I think that it'll be
I think it's Luke.
You think so? Like daughter?
I think it could potentially.
I don't know how that would work, but
I think it could potentially be even like Emperor Palpatine or something, because the thing is it could be like the opposite, where Han Solo, a good guy, and Leia, a good guy, had a bad son, and then the bad guys had a good daughter, and it was like the perfect,
they're
like a Romeo and Juliet bringing the two together.
Yeah, and there has to be, if there's one, there has to be the other.
Because think about it, like
I don't know how
Rey was on Tatooine left alone. Only bad guys would like leave a daughter, like bad guys or just nobodies.
Yeah,
I don't know how they'll connect her to Luke, but I just feel like some way they're gonna connect her.
I don't think Luke. I think Han more, because remember she felt Han was like her dad. She had an immediate connection to Han somehow. Yeah, she didn't have a connection to Luke. She actually didn't like.
That's
Han
why I think it could be possible.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no way that I don't think Kylo and
Rey are
brother and sister.
No.
It would be kind of cool if they were, but I don't think they are either. If anything,
that'd be too similar to the.
Honestly,
Luke
my biggest thing is I think it's gonna be like literally your parents are, you don't have parents. You know,
like you're the born of the Force.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird that they'd set up.
We've seen that before.
Thing,
Anakin.
It is weird that they'd set up the whole entire thing though in The Last Jedi with Rey and Kylo being able to talk to each other through the Force.
Why are they so connected?
Like, why are they so connected if they're not?
And why is she so connected to Leia and Han? She has immediate connections with both, and Luke to an extent, and she's very connected with the Force. Like, unless I agree with Hasten, I think a very likely one is that she was born in the Force, because we've obviously seen that before with Luke, and potentially maybe even like Emperor Palpatine or somebody like that. So, or not Luke, Anakin, but yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying? You keep going. I was just gonna get like quick predictions from random people about Episode 9, because like I'm curious about like certain elements happening, like because I've heard some crazy ones.
I will say that I do think that more has to happen with some of the characters as far as fleshing them out and like caring about them.
I think they're gonna kill a lot of them.
Yeah,
either kill them or like just kind of send them off.
Yeah, I hope if anything they make more backstory to like Finn, because like
that's why I wish they would have just like killed some of these characters.
Yeah,
like,
that's why
you wouldn't have as much to wrap up, and you can dig more into that other stories.
And I wish they almost would have killed Finn too, because Finn is cool, but we don't really know much about his backstory. He was just a clone and then escaped.
There's points where you could have killed Poe
too. I mean, Poe's a nobody as well. We don't know anything about Poe, and the only person we really know anything about, weirdly enough, is Rey. You know,
and Rose. We know a lot about Rose.
And Rose, and
for some reason, we know a lot about Rose.
But like,
we know your sister died here, and you're on the ship, and you find your love, and you're going here.
I think the two most fleshed out characters are Finn.
No, not Finn. I mean, think about it.
I think Finn's way fleshed out. He was a stormtrooper.
But we only know him from that point.
That's what I love, is that he was a stormtrooper. We know
but we know nothing before why he became.
The thing is, we don't need to know every answer.
No, but remember, Captain Phasma said.
Because who was Han Solo? Like, without Solo's knowledge, like, Solo didn't exist. Who was Han Solo?
But Captain Phasma brings it up and, like, tries to, like, hint that there's going to be some sort of resolution. Because remember when they're like, FN-217, what is his story? And then she's like, it looks like he was abandoned this, and then he came to the Empire willingly.
That's all we need. For me, that's all we need.
But I don't know, because it's like, for me, I love Finn. But I don't care. I don't care enough about Finn. Like, I'd care if he died, but not.
I actually
as much
like Finn a lot.
I do like. I
like Finn more than Poe.
That's my point. Is we don't know much about these both of these guys, Poe or Finn.
I only disagree with Finn. Like, I agree with Poe, we don't know a lot about, but I think Finn, his backstory to me is set up perfectly. He was a stormtrooper who was bad. We see him at the beginning of Force Awakens. He doesn't like what he's doing.
Why was he the only stormtrooper who abandoned? Like,
no, I'm sure there's others.
I know, but why?
I'm sure there's others. We just don't see them on
but
screen.
It doesn't really show why he abandoned. Like, why he all of a sudden was like, why? Because like he's been a stormtrooper.
Well, it's
obviously
subliminally set up. He's watching them murder thousands of these.
What I mean is
he's
been doing that though. Why was it then that he realized?
You don't know
because
he's been doing that.
Remember, the town that he does it at is where Poe gives that one guy like the Force thing.
But you're assuming that he's done that before.
Almost like Finn feels the Force and feels the light.
But the thing is you're assuming that he's done that before. We don't know if he's.
Well, I'm imagining
for all we know, that was his first time on duty. That he was killing people, and he's like, "This doesn't feel right. I need to get out of this."
I feel like Finn was almost like I think stormtroopers might be some sort of like drugged or even like intoxicated to where they kind of just mindless drones. They might like put something through him.
No, see,
they just forgot his anesthetic.
Yeah, and maybe either he ran out or the Force made him come to fruition and be like, whoa, what am I doing?
I don't think so.
Because it was almost like, remember, because he was like shooting. When it first shows Finn, he's shooting people. And he's like, and then all of a sudden it's like this immediate moment. Something blows up. And then he's almost like, whoa, where am I? What am I doing?
I don't think so because guess who else worked for the bad guys that we learned just last year? Solo. Han Solo himself literally signs up to work as a stormtrooper or a person for the bad guys. Remember, he goes to war shooting the good guys. That's what's so cool is it shows that the bad guys
he's a bounty
are just
hunter,
normal
though.
people.
Yeah, and Han Solo was a mercenary.
Well, yeah, he's a that's what I mean though, and that's what's cool is that the bad guys aren't just bad for the sake of being bad. Like they have their own personal story. Like at the end of the day, Han Solo's a good guy. I'm sorry, that was the whole theme of Solo. Remember, she's like. His girlfriend's like, one thing you don't know about yourself is you're the good guy. You're the hero. You just don't know.
Yeah,
it.
I think like, too though in Solo, it's not because they make the part where he goes to war. He makes them seem like they're the good guys because it's kind of like the argument like about like America, how America sees us as the good guys.
That's what
other countries sees us as the bad guys.
That's what's so cool.
Like Han Solo probably thought like we were the good
that's
guys.
What Finn
he's going to
thought.
war.
That's what Finn probably thought.
But then he sees what's going on.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool is Finn probably thought I'm going to work for the First Order. That's what everyone does out of high school or whatever. And then he goes to work First Order and he's like, what the frick? We are murdering innocent people right here. This is not what I signed up for, you know? And
well, remember, because he gets the blood on his hand, like...
Yeah,
he's like
teammate,
whoa.
like freaking blood all over, and he's like... And that's what's cool, too, is it shows his teammate, that was his friend. You assume by the way they set that up that was his friend who was just murdered in war, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I thought we were going to be getting into. And that's why I think Finn... out of all the characters, honestly, is the best setup. You know,
you kind of convinced me. But definitely Poe. They need more of Poe. Poe would just like because Poe randomly had that thing that he was given to the guy. Remember?
Wasn't Poe in other movies though?
No. Yeah, Poe.
You're thinking of the guy from Rogue One. They're very similar.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Diego Luna and Poe. Yeah, Poe is Poe. What we know of him is that he was just the best pilot in
X-wing pilot.
Yeah, in the Resistance or something like that. That's basically all we know.
Why was he given the liberty to give that guy the thing? Like he was giving him something.
Yeah, that's another thing that we don't know.
What was he giving him?
I know. Well, it was plans to something. I think it was to Starkiller Base. But it's like, who was that guy? Because he knows Kylo. Remember, Kylo's like, been a long time. Blah, blah, blah.
Isn't it something Organa? Wasn't it one of the Organas?
Organa is Leia.
Yeah, I know. It was. I swear they said who it was.
I don't think so. But either way, that's something I hope they address too, because that guy knows Kylo somehow.
Obviously, and Kylo knows him.
I'm really looking forward to the Knights of Ren stuff, because I think from what we know, it sounds like the Knights of Ren are a bunch of Kylo Ren's followers.
Well, maybe they scrapped the Knights of Ren.
That would be so stupid, because that would be such a cool plot.
All I know is there's been that scene since Force Awakens. They probably purposely didn't put it in as a deleted scene.
There's no way that they could scrap it at this point. Like, we've seen it too much. We've seen it twice in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I think. Like, if that didn't come to fruition, that would be so weird. But I think it would be so cool to have them be like these guys who are just fans of Kylo, or like his old teammates essentially, and then Kylo. either he becomes good, or he becomes so dark and powerful that he's like, screw you guys aren't good enough followers. He kills them all.
I don't need you.
But that's weird because then he's fighting alongside a stormtrooper, which makes me wonder why wouldn't he think that about the stormtrooper if he is killing the Knights of Ren?
Because maybe they are like, you killed Snoke, our master, our leader. What the heck?
But because then you said like, if Kylo was like, I'm better than you, I don't need the Knights of Ren. Why wouldn't he also kill the stormtroopers? If he's killing
because they're
the
his
Knights of
followers.
Ren.
They're his followers.
Yeah.
You know, if you can persuade...
I want to kill all my followers.
All of our family.
Anyway, I think that was a great discussion for Rise of Skywalker. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part of Star Wars Celebration, which was Respawn announced or showed the first cinematic trailer for Jedi Fallen Order, which comes out this fall, right?
Yep. So let me say my thoughts. I'm really excited and I'm really not. Because Respawn's making it, first of all.
Yeah.
And they've made Titanfall 2. They made Apex, which we all loved. Mm-hmm. So they make good games that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about this in a minute. But like, I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And another thing I didn't like is EA tweeted, they're like, no microtransactions, no loot boxes, no multiplayer. Like, that was a bonus.
Yeah,
like no multiplayer is a bonus. I mean, I get it. Like, you're doing a single-player story.
Yeah, and it's...
But don't say no multiplayer as it's like, hey, that's something added.
Yeah, and they're using their mistakes as a promotional tool.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys... Good. Like, good there's no loot boxes. Good there's no extra... These are your guys' problems that you're now trying to use as a bonus to us that should get us excited.
It's kind of like the making fun of yourself thing.
Yeah.
Where, like, you'll be like, oh, well, I don't cheat on people, you know, like, haha, no cheating or something, like when you've done it in the past or something.
Yeah, you're like, we won't be doing that again.
I don't think it's not very smart. Because then it's just reminding people that you did that in the past.
Yeah,
I think just forget it. Don't mention it. And just make a good game.
Make a good game.
Yeah. Their words need to show action with their words. You know, like I'll believe it when I see it when it comes out.
Which I think Respawn will do.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it just has me a little nervous. I love the plot line that they're going with.
Plot line seems cool.
It's after when they execute Order 66 and kill like all the Jedis.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite things. It's just like execute Order 66, and then you have I think it was Clone Commander Cody, right?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think so.
It was someone. It was someone that looked like him
in the trailer. I'm watching. No,
when they executed Order 66.
Oh yeah. Oh, right? I thought you were talking about in the trailer. Yeah, it was Clone Commander Cody. Was like
they kill all of these Jedis that are just there, and then throughout the whole thing, they're just killing these Jedis. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that you just got me excited that Commander Cody might be in it or something. That'd be super cool. I'd love that.
I like that it takes place between the prequels and the original trilogy because we haven't seen a lot between there.
I actually disagree slightly in that sense because Rogue One and Solo were before
No, I know, but right after the prequels because both of those take place before the first trilogy.
And you know what's going to happen quick though is we're going to cut to everyone knows he's a Jedi really quick though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean with the way they started this. If this
guy
is the story, yeah, because like
like even like look, I was just wondering, is he a Jedi? Because look, he's running off the wall.
Yeah, he's a Jedi.
He's a Jedi. Okay.
How do you make this? How do you make this story? And make a game, a playable game, while having it be fun without holding back.
Yeah,
because you're gonna have to be like, hey, he's a Jedi, so you can use your lightsaber, or use your Force, or anything like that.
Well, it looks like from the trailer even that he might not fully know he's a Jedi.
No, he knows he's a Jedi.
No, because he's part of. It looks like he's part of a construction crew that is taking apart the old ships to take the parts, and he's got like this friend. And so the friend is. The cable breaks and the friend falls down the ship.
I'm pretty sure it's
I think if you listen to
and then the friend falls down the thing and then it shows him reaching for him and stop him with the Force. I think that's when he.
But he's hiding. That's the thing, though. He's hiding from
that. He does know.
He knows he's hiding because they didn't know.
Okay, then that's probably the beginning of the game. Probably will be like that. Then you won't be able to use your powers just because you're trying to hide. So you'll probably just have a gun and stuff because you don't want to reveal it and have the entire empire.
What if they hold this lightsaber to like the last fight?
I don't think they'd do that.
I think it's 100% confirmed that he is a Jedi. I don't think that's even up for debate. Like, I'm pretty sure... Okay, yeah. Players will use Jedi training to create different melee combinations with an innovative lightsaber combat system and Force abilities. Like, he's a Jedi, so there will be a lightsaber in this game.
And it shows him at the end using it.
Yeah.
Which, I have a question real quick. You guys remember the main girl on Battlefront 2, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that her?
No.
I thought that was her mask.
No, I
Doesn't
promise
she have a
it's not.
similar
No,
one?
so
that's not
that
her.
is an Inquisitor. So what from reading about it and stuff like that, the game has you being hunted by the Inquisitors who were in Star Wars Rebels, I believe, and they're the guys who are like basically the Black Hands.
That's where I've seen them before.
Of the
They're in
Emperor
Rebels
and stuff. Yeah, and
They're the ones who hunt down the remaining Jedi.
yes,
Yeah, because then in Rebels they hunt down what's his bucket, the guy with the beard.
Mhm.
And then the kid.
How long do you guys want the story to be for this?
At least around 8 hours. You know, that's
Ooh,
what
8 hours.
that's
Longer
pretty
than that.
That's pretty standard.
If they don't have a multiplayer, it's
Yeah.
got to be bigger.
Well, I
You
mean,
think
not
about it, like
necessarily.
God of War. How long is that thing? Like 40, 50?
God of War is an exception though, because God of War is like super meaty. If you look at, for example, Uncharted, what was it called? Lost Legacy.
That's a DLC from. That
Yeah,
should have been on
but
4.
that was only like
Well, real
5
quick, if
hours,
I'll be
6
honest,
hours.
But it was a $40 game.
if I'll be
It
honest,
wasn't $60 game.
I
True.
didn't watch the trailer. That's the first time I've watched the trailer.
Okay.
I didn't know.
I was gonna say because I was like, a lot of questions you're asking
Yeah,
are pretty in the trailer.
and I
though.
didn't know that they were doing that ad with the no multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Because that changes my whole
They tweeted it.
view
Angry
on
Joe
this.
actually had a ton of stuff come back at him, and he's like, he tweeted back at them, and they responded, and then he retweeted back at them again. It was a whole thing,
But like, because using that as a marketing thing, and that's a big chunk of a game right there. Because like, whether or not you have an amazing storyline, but
it's a big chunk of
Yeah.
replayability.
especially for a Star Wars game, because like if you're God of War and you say no multiplayer, it's like, well, duh. But like, I don't know, like that's a big deal because people look for these Star Wars games like Star Wars Battlefront, and you've got all these big time Star Wars games where you've got this great multiplayer, you know, and that's kind of a big hit, you know, because like what else will they have?
They don't
Will-
need to have
will-
anything else though. if
That's
it's
the
good
thing.
enough.
If it's good enough, if it's along
5
the lines
hours
of
long,
yeah, if it's like a Spider-Man or a Batman or a God of War, I am totally fine
Open
with
world.
no anything else. But if it's a normal standard game campaign like a Call of Duty or a Battlefront 2, it's gonna be done, and like it won't be this great of an experience. You know, if they're doing this fully fleshed out Force system, I hope it's open world. I hope we get side quests. I hope we get multiple stuff to do, upgrades for your lightsaber, upgrades for your armor, upgrades for your pistol. or
Well, real
whatever you
fast,
use.
going
open
off
world Star Wars game would be awesome. I just
Awesome,
thought
dude.
about that. That'd be
It's,
freaking
It would be
I know,
sick.
so-
it's too
with
bad.
the
We need-
Force,
it's-
dude.
It's too bad
Force
we need to
jumping
freaking go
shit.
complain to EA because they canceled freaking Amy Hennig's game, who was one of the creators of Uncharted, was working on
How
that
long
ragtag
ago?
game. Remember, just last year it was a huge
Oh,
deal.
that's right. They've always canceled so many games.
Well, it was first being made by Visceral, who made the Dead Space games.
Then they went out of business.
Well, they went out of business because EA closed their studio. They didn't just go out of business. EA closed their
like,
studio.
yeah, you guys are cool.
Yeah, they looked at the game and they were like, "It's not what we want." And
It
literally,
doesn't have loot boxes
It doesn't.
and
Literally, that's what they
microtransactions,
said.
yeah.
Everyone was pissed last year because they were like, "Yeah, it doesn't have enough. It's not a games of service as a service," is what they said.
It's not gonna make us money.
It's not going to make us money, and so they canceled it
Because
and
it's
they
not
said-
like an ongoing game.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yes. So they shut down Visceral.
Because God of War, all I'm
Which
saying
is what I'm kind of worried about it with Respawn too. 'Cause
I was-
I'm like Respawn makes good games,
but they
multiplayer games.
but multiplayer games. So like I don't want them to make this and have it be okay.
Well,
And
I will say
it's just
something.
like closing Respawn down.
I will say something real quick. Is I know I'm a PlayStation hater, but I will give props to God of War for one thing. Is they proved that a single player game is all you need. Like you don't need an ongoing game like this. You know.
It's just like there's a lot of really like Last of Us,
yeah,
and
Last
Uncharted,
of Us, Uncharted, Spider-Man.
Infamous, and
But
Spider-Man.
like even
PlayStation
but,
in general
No,
is
but
kind of
here's
that.
the thing: is Last of Us has multiplayer.
yeah,
yeah, it's
you know,
crappy.
it's tacked on.
I'm talking about a game where it's just a single player game. God of War is one mode.
Well,
single player, you're done. Like
Real
there's
fast,
no.
going back to that Visceral thing, though, just because I want to make sure I close this out. They closed down Visceral, but then Amy Hennig, who was the creator, still was on board to finish it. They were going to just change it and alter it to more of a games of service thing. And then it was late last year, they just canceled it altogether. Literally, this game has been in development, I think, since 2015. They revealed the very first, like, teaser video gif of it in 2015. Do you guys remember? And it was that guy walking through, like, this sandy town or whatever, and everyone was like, "Whoa, that looks awesome!" And then they canceled it, and it was this.
They
it was-
were like 4 years in development.
yes, and they
So
canceled it.
that means they were past concept and stuff. They were using
No,
models.
They were developing
and,
it. It's so
Maybe.
unfortunate.
I mean, Anthem wasn't. So.
But
yeah,
but
Anthem
like
was like 7 years.
you
and
look
then,
into
like,
games
it's like a year of
lifestyles and
development.
most games by then are almost done.
They should be, yeah.
Especially, dude, that's those poor guys.
It just sucks because now.
What was it called? Do you know what it was called?
They didn't have a name for it. It was the rumored name was Ragtag, but that was just a rumored name. There was no official.
That's
name.
probably like a fake.
Yeah,
that
wouldn't
make sense.
No, yeah, it wouldn't. So, but going back onto the trailer for Fallen Order, I will say this: I was very not. I don't want to say disappointed, but I was just not excited. Like I watched it, and
I will be excited if I see gameplay.
Me too, and that's
how it is for all games almost with me. It's like once I see gameplay, I'm excited.
I'm only a fan of cinematic trailers if it's for a series I already love. So, for example, when The Last of Us Part 2's original cinematic trailer came out, I got psyched because I knew I already liked The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
But it's like...
I got even more excited when I seen the gameplay. It just looks the same, but like we get to see more story.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is like if this was a series that I knew and cared about already, I'd be excited for the cinematic trailer. But going off the cinematic trailer, it honestly doesn't do anything for me really. I'm just like, cool. I'll wait till I see gameplay because for all I know, the game can look really pretty and cool. But if the gameplay sucks, I don't want to play it. Like it's not fun at that point.
Dang, they had like a full teaser where the dude's walking through that desert.
You see that sandy town? Yeah, it's freaking crazy. And they canceled it. When was that uploaded?
2 years ago.
Is that a re-upload, though?
I think it's a re-upload.
Because I swear that game was revealed in 2015, 2016. But
2016.
2016. So that's 3 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, freaking ridiculous.
So it was in development for 5+ years.
So yeah, it was being developed before they first showed it off.
It says it was 5+ years into development.
Yeah,
when they canceled it.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, it sucks.
And they were doing like mocap with the Star.
I just wish like you could give like just a different company.
Is EA making this newest one?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, EA has the license for Star Wars.
No one else can make Star Wars games.
They've had it since 2012. And I think it's
take that away from them, Disney.
Disney threatened it for Battlefront. After Battlefront. Was it 1 or 2?
It was 2. It was after the whole loot
Dude,
box
take it away from them. You are hurting the fan base.
It depends how this one comes out.
They have it for 10 years. And so here's the thing.
But EA's going to see this one again and be like, "Oh, it's not a games of service."
I think it
depends though if it sells well.
Yeah, I think the license
it's not going to do like Madden and FIFA numbers just because of the like microtransactions they have in those games.
If they advertise it like a God of War, it will.
Yeah, they just make so much money off of these like digital cards, like the Ultimate Teams and stuff. I mean, that stuff makes so much money.
Well, yeah, but God of War did good, right?
But if you look at it compared to like Madden sales in general, like with all DLC and stuff, it's not even close.
I hate that EA's so money hungry.
Here's my biggest fear is that Jedi Fallen Order comes out and it's not that great, but since it's Star Wars, tons of people buy it, so it makes tons of money.
It's gonna make money
EA's like, oh great, we'll just release crappy Star Wars games for the next few years while we have the license.
We're adding loot boxes to Fallen Order.
Yeah, or I really don't think
they said too. They're like, oh, and we're not adding them later.
Yeah,
they said that. Dude, they added that. They're like, I'm gonna pull up these tweets.
I don't.
Dude, that is so dumb. That is like straight up. So that's like Bungie coming out when they were announcing Destiny 2, and they're like, this one has story. That's basically confirming you didn't have story in the first one. Even though
it's trying to use it as a sales tactic for something that was a mistake.
Because that's one thing I respect Bungie for. Is Destiny 2 had a lot of story, and they never once advertised that it has more than Destiny 1. Oh, it actually has story. Like, even though everyone knew it didn't, the first one didn't. It's like, that's so dumb. That makes me so mad. It's because they're basically admitting that they did it, but they're like, too bad.
Yeah.
We're just moving on now. Bless you.
Bless you. You're good. Yeah, I think with this game, I don't know exactly what to expect because we haven't seen gameplay, so I'm not looking forward to it at all.
I don't know.
From the trailer,
I like the trailer.
I didn't like the trailer. You didn't even watch it with sound, though. The thing is, for one, I do not like, and I'm sorry, I know the actor, I think he's a fine actor, but I do not like his performance from this trailer. His name's Cameron Monaghan, I think. He's playing the lead character, and he sounds like a little kid. He kind of sounds like a little kid playing that role.
Like a 30-year-old man in the show.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. And so it's just, I'm getting slightly bad vibes. And also, if I'm being honest, the main character seems a little... Generic, exactly. He just seems like your normal guy. Like, your normal shooter guy.
It's like the classic default character. Like, if you were going to create a character right before you edit him or anything.
Exactly. He has no distinguishing traits about him.
No, we won't be adding them. Oh, my gosh. Like, dude, and it...
Like, couldn't they have at least given him like something cool about, something unique about, like give him an eye patch, give him a yellow lightsaber,
a scar right here.
Like he looks like you summed it up perfectly. He looks like when you start up Fallout 4 or whatever, he's the generic character that
before you've edited anything.
Him. That's him right there.
And then they're like, it's like they bought this super expensive character development kit, and they're like,
default's good.
Yeah, just throw a Jedi outfit on him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I really hope they're not just abusing the Star Wars license for this game, and they know people will buy it anyway.
Yeah,
maybe it's a girl.
It's not a girl. It's very obvious.
And the actor's a guy. They've already confirmed that it's
in the last scene. It's very. I feel like it's very obvious in the last scene. He's dethroned because he
is very basic.
He's very basic looking. Like there's nothing that sticks out to him about. And I'm just. I don't know. I'm sounding very down.
So is Luke though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Luke was the first, right?
So Luke is a human actor. You can see him. He's a real human. He's not developed from a game where you can make him look however you want. They took an actual human that exists. Because like that's like saying just Mark Hamill's a generic looking human, which he is, but that's not his fault. Like the casting is different.
The thing is, the guy is based off the actor. Like if you look at the actor, he looks like that. But it's like, why did you pick the one guy who looks super generic?
Well, like even if you chose him as the voice, just change a little bit. Like it can be based off of him.
Yeah, why not? Though, like I'm like, there's a million things they could have done with him. Yeah, like make him have a cool scar. Make him an alien.
Dude, we
haven't played as an alien.
Why is everybody we play as a freaking normal? Why is
generic? Why is
human
every protagonist in Star Wars a human?
And not just a white dude. Battlefront 2, it's this normal generic white girl. A normal generic white dude is just black.
She's black or like
she's like mixed, but still, she's human.
Yeah,
she's just a normal girl.
I want to play as an alien.
She's not like
so
she's
many
not like
aliens
half
in the Star Wars universe. It's just
she's not like Leela from.
I want to play as an alien, or I want to play as a bounty hunter, or like with a helmet, or a robot, dude.
Like General Grievous is like Padawan.
Wasn't there that
or
one game
Star Wars 1313 that got canceled? Yeah,
you were bounty hunters.
It was Boba Fett you were playing as, I think. Yeah, and it's like it'd be so cool. Like make your own bounty hunter. Do you know how cool that'd be? Like a character creator, you make your own bounty hunter, and they have this whole story around it. That'd be awesome. I'm with you. I think this story, if I had to guess, I'd say the story's gonna be 8 hours long, and I think it's gonna be just a single player 8-hour game. And it's gonna be a quick in and out, and then you're done. Call of Duty campaign.
15 to 20 hours.
I don't think that'll happen.
It's ridiculous, though. You can't have just a Call of Duty campaign.
There was a trailer for 1313 also.
I'm with you, but
it's not going to work.
I totally
They're going to get a ton of flack for it if they do it that way.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, but I think that's what's going to happen. Dude, because I don't see... This is EA we're talking about, and they're using all this stuff as like, hey, look, no loot boxes, no microtransactions. What's the catch? I bet you the catch is going to be, but the game's only
8 hours long.
8 hours long.
Dude, it's not even going to come out. 1313 had a trailer also.
This game's coming out. It's coming out this year.
Give it a couple of weeks.
It's got a release date.
Yeah. This game's coming out. This game has to come out.
Look, 1313 had like a full-fledged trailer.
Dude. If this one gets canceled, EA's going to get a ton of
if this one somehow gets canceled, which there's no way at this point, but if it does...
Oh, it looks so cool. You were like an IG-88 robot.
EA will be done with the Star Wars license, period. Anyway, there's no way it can get canceled. The thing is I was looking at... I was hearing what some people were saying. The only Star Wars games EA has released, they've had the license, I think, for 6 to 7 years now. Battlefront 1 and 2. You have the greatest IP license of all time, period. Like, it is.
It's not hard to make content out of it.
Look how dope that looks. That's gameplay.
I know.
Of 1313, they had gameplay.
This wasn't EA, though. You're looking at something that wasn't EA. So this doesn't matter. This isn't relevant.
But 1313.
Yeah, I know. But this wasn't EA.
When will we get a Star Wars game that's not Star Wars Battlefront?
After EA drops the license.
Anyway, yeah. Well, should we move on?
Once they give Naughty Dog the license, that'd be freaking sick.
That'd be awesome.
If Naughty Dog, that'd be sick. Or even studio, the one who made
Assassin's Creed, give Ubisoft the license.
Montreal.
I would prefer if they went the direction Marvel's going and just give talented studios the license.
Yeah.
Like Insomniac.
Change it, yeah.
And Marvel's just like, Insomniac makes good games. Let's give them the license. Boom. Awesome Spider-Man.
That'd be sick. Dude, like 1 year it's Naughty Dog, the next one it's the people who made God of War.
So it's not like, hey,
whatever.
Sony Santa Monica just made one of the best games of all time. Let's give them the Star Wars license, see what they can do with it. I would love that. Instead, it's like, don't get me wrong, Respawn is extremely talented. I love it. I love Respawn. But like you said, they are a multiplayer company. They are a shooter company. Another thing we forgot to mention, this game's third person. It's not first person. It's a third person action adventure game. Respawn, I don't think, has ever made a third person game.
Because they were like Modern Warfare 3 and then Titanfall and now Apex.
Yeah, it's Titanfall 1 and 2, all first-person games. This is going to be
I think Respawn can do it, though.
They can do it, for sure.
They're talented enough. I mean, you guys even praised Titanfall 2's campaign.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also melee-based. It's also lightsaber and force. It's not guns. That's another thing Respawn
for
does.
what we know,
Guns multiplayer.
It probably is guns for the first little bit. So
no, I promise you. The description says that it's... Unless, yeah, there probably are gun segments, but it's a not multiplayer. Lightsaber hack and slash force-based game. So I don't know how well that's going to translate for Respawn. Maybe they can totally do it, and I'm wrong. I'll wait until I see gameplay. But I hope they do. I'm not trying to sound like I don't believe in them, because
the thing is I have less hopes now.
I think we'll know more E3.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, we better.
I hope we get gameplay.
If we don't have gameplay by E3, that'd be like, what the fuck?
It's canceled. If we don't have gameplay,
if we don't have gameplay by E3, I would actually start being like, this game might be canceled. Wow, I can't believe it, because I don't have any other reason to believe in EA.
I'd be excited to see gameplay, because then we'd get an actual like grasp of what it'd be like. Because right now we're just judging off of a cinematic, which it's hard because you could do that with any game.
Yeah, and the thing is though,
like Star Wars Battlefronts.
Even from the cinematic though. If this is a single-player game, guess what single-player games are about? Story and gameplay. Like, awesome gameplay along with a great story.
Yep.
One of those things I'm already worried about. Or both, actually, because we haven't seen gameplay. So
and the story doesn't seem very there.
And the story doesn't seem
I'm excited for the story. I think that the whole time period that they're in is really cool.
The time period's cool. But then again, like, who is this guy?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They didn't really even try to say who he was.
Yeah, it's like, I'm with Hasten that the time period's cool, but like they didn't.
Because like with Batman, you know who Batman is, and they even like they're like Bruce Wayne, like, but like with this guy, it's
do you want him to start with like a Skywalker?
No, but I'd like them to at least in the first cinematic be like, he's like, I am one of the last Jedi in hiding or something, you know. But they don't even say anything. It's just like
he does have a back like he's. You got to watch a trailer because it does tell you a little bit about it.
I am a little curious though, like what he is going to, like what are we going to be doing in this game? Are we running away from Inquisitors?
Are we trying to stop them?
Or are we trying to run away? Are we trying to like
get
stop
the Jedi's
the
back?
Sith? Like what is the objective? I'm curious. Is the game going to end in us dying?
I think it has to.
Jedi.
Because we never heard about this dude before. So
yeah, that's true. This is what the fandom description says of it. It says it's it is said. Oh frick! Oh, we're playing as Cal Kestis is his name, which little weird name. Comes from Respawn Entertainment, a brand new action adventure game which tells an original Star Wars story around a surviving Padawan set shortly after the events of Revenge of the Sith. On November 15th is when it releases. Play and become a Jedi. That's all it says. Third person as well. So.
And it just says a Jedi. It doesn't specify who. Are we going to be multiple people? Or is it just
I imagine it's just one person. That's how most single player games work.
I'm surprised they're not like be Obi-Wan or be. It's like it's not his name or anything.
No, it is his name. It's Cal.
No, it doesn't say like play and be a Jedi. It just says play and be a Jedi.
Well, yeah,
playing as Cal Kestis as a Padawan.
as a Jedi.
No, I know, but it's not like play as Cal.
I'm super.
Like, I think you're just way overthinking the wording of
this.
Okay.
You're playing as Cal Kestis. We know who you're playing as. You're playing as a Jedi.
Okay.
But anyway, any other thoughts on Respawn's Jedi Fallen Order coming out November?
We'll see. I mean,
15th.
we don't know much, so
no,
we'll see. Speaking of E3, we'll be coming to you with hot news, guys. So stay tuned.
Hot news, baby.
You're dropping that hot
news all over your face.
Hot nudes.
Last piece of Star Wars news that happened over Celebration that I want to touch on briefly is we saw our first pictures of The Mandalorian. It's confirmed to drop all the episodes when Disney Plus launches in November.
Really?
Which is awesome.
So it's not like a weekly rolling.
It doesn't sound like it. It's all just like how Netflix is right away.
I like that.
Me too, because then you can binge it, get all the story right away.
Sweet.
And then you don't have to worry about spoilers as much and stuff like that. You can kind of just binge right through it. What are your guys' thoughts on this? We know it's coming to Disney Plus right away. $5.99 a month, by the way. We haven't talked about that.
So cheap.
The Disney Plus stuff. Or is it $5.99 or $6.99?
I think it's $6.99.
$6.99. But heck of a good price for Disney to price that
For sure.
at. Like, that's a steal.
Now,
honestly.
I think it's going to go up as they keep adding
yeah.
more content. You know what I mean? Just like Netflix is.
No doubt.
Definitely a good deal, I think. I mean, it's the best deal out there. If you can only get one streaming service, I would say maybe go with Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's lots of talented actors in this, too. Like Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, wow.
What's his name?
From Breaking Bad.
Gus Fring. Yep. Is going to be in it. Pedro Pascal. Carl Weathers is in it, who people point out he looks just like Lando. I've always thought this. Like, Billy D. Williams and Carl Weathers look identical. So I was like, that's a little weird casting because people are going to think that's Lando, but it's not. It's Carl Weathers. But Taika Waititi's directing an episode.
Yay.
And it's being the showrunner is Jon Favreau, who has done the Iron Man movies and the Lion King, Jungle Book. Like, he's super talented. It works with Disney a lot. And yeah, that's the main news we know about it. Like, we haven't seen a trailer yet, but I'm pretty hyped about this. I'm not gonna lie.
Excited. I'm also excited for the series that are coming with Disney Plus. Like, there's the Loki and Loki one, and then there's Vision and Scarlet.
Yeah, I think it's called
back to the
Vision.
Yeah, and then there's Hawkeye and Falcon too.
real quick. I want to go back.
And then also,
Literally four announced at least that are exclusive to Disney Plus.
or you mean you said Hawkeye and Falcon? You mean Winter Soldier and Falcon?
Is it Winter Soldier? I thought it was Hawkeye.
It's Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, Winter Soldier and Falcon. And then
real quick, I
also-
want to go back to the Mandalorian though, real quick.
Yeah.
So, like, story. Do we know anything so far about what it's going to be?
Story wise, it doesn't sound like really much.
Because I wonder if it's just the one Mandalorian.
It's set after
Because it's called The Mandalorian, but maybe it's
Return of the Jedi and in between Force Awakens.
Because I'm wondering if it's talk about the Mandalorians, like plural, or just the Mandalorian, like one guy. You know, because maybe it's like about the Mandalorians, like their story.
I think it's about one, I'd assume, because we've only seen one in the pictures.
Yeah,
the
the
pictures
one where he's,
literally
like,
just show
walking.
one Mandalorian.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a bounty hunter show, which sounds awesome.
That'd be
like,
sick.
Gritty, dark, him in
More
the
like a
slums.
Solo or
Kind of, like a Western kind
that'd
of
be
vibe.
sick. I hope so.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more on that. That'd be sick. I can't wait for Disney Plus, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I think, and then briefly touching on, they also brought up that Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk will be back for the Rogue One spin-off show with Cassian Andor, which is awesome. I love that Disney Plus, because it's Disney, can afford the original actors to
That
come
is
play in the TV
crazy.
show.
It's
It's
like, yeah,
nuts.
we're gonna get
It's not just some
it's not-
random person.
Yeah, it's not like
It's not like they cast Carl Weathers as Lando. And then
Yeah, I
just-
feel like they cast the less famous person to come
Uh-huh.
play it, or they get the original actors. Like Tom Hiddleston will be playing Loki in a TV show.
That's cool.
What the frick? Like, that's insane. How many? And then
TV shows have become so much more critically acclaimed, and I feel like in the limelight as like
If they're
Actually-
good though, there's a lot
Yeah.
that just get canceled and
yeah. I feel like as far as like the Academy and like moviegoers and like movie critics, they see TV shows now as a higher standard.
Oh yeah, well we're living in the golden age of television for sure. Like
those
this-
are entertainment.
entertainment in general, but especially TV. Like TV is in a renaissance right now with HBO putting out awesome stuff, Netflix having amazing original content, AMC like even Hulu is getting acclaim with like Handmaid's Tale and all this stuff. Like, and now we're gonna be getting Disney Plus. It's insane the amount of awesome television content we're able to just stream from our homes. You know, like Game of Thrones, I haven't watched all of it. I've only seen the first episode, but I would imagine you'd say that is like movie grade material, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better
Especially
than most
now.
movies.
Yeah, that's
Especially
the thing. Is
now. I mean, late in these late seasons.
Even in the first season, I mean, realistically, like the show was just as good as it is in the first season as it is now. That's the crazy part about it. It's kept its thing the whole time.
yeah.
There's not a bad season of Game of Thrones, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's the same way like Better Call Saul, I feel like is the same way. Stranger Things, like those Breaking Bad, like these are like movie grade level shows that are on television, you know, and that's impressive. That's
Walking Dead was,
and then now it sucks.
Now it's
unfortunately.
awful.
Yeah, it's too bad, dude. They need to wrap up that freaking show.
it's still going.
I decided the other day I was just sitting down and I was playing Smash Bros on my Switch, so I was like, I should just have something on the TV. I was podcast out and stuff. So I was like, I saw Walking Dead had the new season on there. And I was like, I'm 2 seasons behind.
It does?
Yeah. And so I was like, should I just start the last season I was on? And I started the first episode, and I was just not into it like at all. Like it was this supposed to be this big, huge, epic fight. They're gonna start fighting Negan or something, and I'm just like, I just don't care like about this anymore for some reason. Like they need to wrap this show up already.
Yeah, they lost a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. That's another thing we can talk about. For
maybe like oversaturating shows and going too when's
Dude,
a good
shows
time to
need
stop.
to know when to wrap up. That's a huge thing. That's why I'm so happy Game of Thrones is ending, because it's like
They could have gone one more season, I think.
I'm sure they
Been
could
fine,
have,
but
it makes me happy knowing like
they got to wrap up so much in this last season, though. It's crazy.
yeah, because for me though, it's like now that makes Game of Thrones more approachable. Because like Walking Dead, for example, if Walking Dead keeps going and I had never watched it and I just see it on Netflix one day and I'm like, it's 20 seasons long and every episode is an hour long. Yeah, right. I'm never gonna watch.
Well, and then I think there's also the argument of like if shows ended too early. You know, if they didn't get enough, not even if they were canceled.
That mostly comes to canceled though.
But like even like Futurama was canceled but then brought back, and I feel like it ended too early. Same with Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is an amazing TV show on a Disney Channel of everything. It's got like super deep lore, and it didn't even get canceled. The creator said from the beginning that he only wanted 2 seasons.
Animation is a little different though, because animation I feel like can kind of go on forever, like if it wants to. Like look at Family Guy, it's still going.
Simpsons is going on 30 years.
Simpsons is gonna be 30 years. By the way, which it's all
It's
gonna
on
be
Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Crazy.
But that's what I mean is like, so I feel like there's some shows that can go on forever, but then there's some shows I feel like that end too early and that don't get enough of the content. Like I wish there was more Gravity Falls, you know. It's like and I doubt there will be, because the creators already said, you know. And like Futurama, I'd love more Futurama, but never. Like I doubt the creator will go back.
Yeah, personally, with how busy you can get, especially as an adult once you get older, I actually prefer shorter stuff. Like not shorter necessarily, but things that have a conclusive end that I can know, like, oh, I can get to the end of this. Like one day I will be to the end of this. Like
That's the show I was trying to think
something
of.
that's like 20 seasons or whatever. You know, I'm like, I don't want to start this because this is gonna
But
take
then you look at
Supernatural.
like something
yeah,
like
Supernatural,
a
exactly.
great show on Netflix you guys should watch. I don't know if it's still on there, but Freaks and Geeks. You watch that. It's an awesome show with James Franco
and Seth Rogen and Jason Segel
and
what's her
Velma.
name? Velma, and also Hawkeye's wife. She's an awesome actress. What's her name? Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, that is a great show, but because of cancellation, like it ended quickly, and you can tell.
Oh, what was that?
The last
Revolution?
couple episodes.
Oh, Revolution! I remember.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Linda Cardellini. Yeah, she's awesome.
And like that show was so cool, and it was a great like Misfits kind of show. And it ended weird because they had to rush and try to make it like
they had to come
feel
up with a
good.
conclusive end because they got canceled. So they were just like,
And it was like,
we were gonna go into
she's
season
going
2,
off
but...
to camp or something. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And like I loved that show and I was really enjoying it. And then that's what I mean. It's like I wish some of these shows could almost come back now.
Well,
I
they
feel like,
can. Nice thing about nowadays,
but like even
is
like Freaks and Geeks,
Netflix
not really.
resurrects so many shows. Like Arrested Development canceled way too soon. Granted, the new seasons aren't that great, but like they brought back a show that was gone forever, 10 years. You know.
And we were at the Office panel yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And Kevin, Brian Baumgartner, Kevin from The Office, was like, I think there's like a 91% chance or like 91% chance or something like that there's some kind of spin-off coming.
Yeah.
For...
Some sort of Office thing will come out like in the next 5 years.
that
Yeah, and
space,
everyone was just like,
Office in
and
space.
then Angela and Oscar were just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah,
Big
Kevin.
claim. Yeah, big claim.
Big claim there.
Uh-huh.
I thought there was like the Office in space or whatever.
It's not Office though.
I know it's not
It's
the same people.
just
But
the
Steve
same
Carell's in
creator.
it.
Well, yeah, but it's just the same creator. It's not Michael Scott.
Well, I know that.
So no, he's saying something
Because it could
Office
be like
related.
Oh, okay, like in the same
Like literally
universe.
just
Like either an Office reboot or an Office reunion or something like that, which is
Were Angela and Oscar like, "Whoa, stop talking because that's real," or were they saying like, "What are you talking about?"
They were just like, whoa, like just getting excited about it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You'd have to be there, but you'd have to be there, Tanner. Just kidding.
Stupid work.
I was gonna ask you guys real fast.
If my bosses are watching, I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask you guys real quick. Where'd it go?
But
Do you think anybody's at this point in the podcast?
yes.
No.
If I'll say this real
We
quick. If you've made it this far, I will.
If
Give
you see
you-
this point and you leave a comment that says, when the orange peel is red, it makes lots of birds sing songs.
That's way too long.
Fellowship. No, if you say that in the comments, we will shout you out on the next episode.
No, I will give you my firstborn child. If you say the words firstborn child, I will give you my firstborn child when I have a child.
I'll give you a mystery box with 6 pop figures if you do it.
And we're dead serious.
If you say
I'm dead serious. If you somehow do that, I will give you.
But you have to give them a word they have to say because they could just say it.
I just
if you do that,
the orange peel is red. Okay, make it smaller. That's
no, it
way
was
too
good.
long.
No, they will write if they care enough. They will listen or rewatch that part and leave a comment.
And I will send you. I have tons of pop figures that I'm not gonna want. I could send them to you. 6 mystery box, whatever you want.
What if I do it?
You don't care.
No, we don't. I was gonna say.
What if I made a random account and then do it?
And then you're like, what's your address?
And I send it to your address. I send it to Gracie's address.
You're like, oh, you live in Salt Lake? Cool.
How convenient.
Yeah, I'll just meet up. All right. And then you're like, Tanner?
I wear like a mustache, like a fake mustache. I'm like, so.
Before we go, I just wanted to ask you guys these quick questions. What Star Wars character would you like to see get their own spin-off TV show?
Ooh, that would be sick.
Darth Maul? Maul
kind of probably Obi-Wan.
Well, and Darth
Obi-Wan,
Maul, like,
because
Darth Maul literally...
Darth Maul's next.
Darth Maul would probably be in Obi-Wan's.
I think Darth Maul would be a great one because Darth Maul's crazy. Because he was in Clone Wars with spider legs, and then he was in Rebels with spider legs, then apparently died, and then is back somehow.
No, he only died once. But then he came... So in Solo, he just...
So he was cut in half... And then he fell, so he's dead, but then he got spider legs, and then he was in Clone Wars, didn't die, and then it was in Rebels, and then died. But before that, he was in Solo.
Yeah.
Where he's alive. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have spider
legs. He dies
legs,
in Rebels again.
But he doesn't have spider legs.
No, he just has mechanical legs. He just has normal ones at that point. Yeah, he only has spider legs in Clone Wars.
I wonder if did they explain in Clone Wars how he survived?
No, who cares?
But it's also the Force, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
powerful. But I think Obi-Wan would be my pick because Darth Maul could be in it then. And that would be awesome, having like
Darth Maul and Obi-Wan are like
a Darth Maul revenge story, like him trying to hunt down Obi-Wan because he killed him or killed.
I actually think Obi-Wan's the one who kills Darth Maul in Rebels.
I think he is. Yeah. I wish they just got rid of that. That's kind of stupid to me. Like that happens in Rebels. It's like that could have been an awesome spin-off movie.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like Obi-Wan spin-off movie set between episode 3 and 4, and Darth Maul comes back for a rematch between the two? That would be so sick. Old man Obi-Wan versus old man Darth Maul. Frick yeah, that'd be so cool. Like I bet
that's what was gonna happen because they teased it in Solo.
Yeah, but then Rebels had that.
Well, no, but then they probably canceled the Obi-Wan movie.
Well, I think they did. Yeah, I would pick. Yeah, Obi-Wan would be my first choice, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see like a General Grievous.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like something about him controlling the droid army.
How he came to power.
Or how he was built, like who built him?
Who built him? Because he's humanoid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure General Grievous is a human.
Yeah, most of the time I don't like.
He's a brilliant strategist and feared Jedi hunter known for his. Oh, never mind.
No, yeah.
Hacking cough. His body itself was a weapon allowing the lightning. Okay.
I wish. Yeah, the thing is like most of the time I don't love origin stories like that are forced, but certain characters that deserve one would be cool. It's like, yeah, General Grievous, it's like, why does he have a heart? Like, literally, Obi-Wan opens up, he got it's a heart, right? Or lungs or something.
It's a heart.
And then, I remember as a kid, I thought it was something else. I remember being like, whoa, I can't believe they showed that.
They showed his penis?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what the heck? But, yeah, I think it's just his heart. And then he also coughs. It's like, how does a droid cough if he doesn't have some sort of bodily...
He has lungs. I think he's human. And he became a droid.
Like this is the thing. This is what we don't need to know the answer right now because that's what I want to see in the show.
Yeah, that would be cool. Sick. The description is the same one from that. Like I don't think people know. Like they could totally explain that.
Yeah,
they obviously
it'd be
haven't
cool
done.
To have a TV show set right before Clone Wars or something like that, or before Phantom Menace.
And Count Dooku's his master.
Yeah,
he's apprentice.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Count Dooku droid is a.
I know, and it sucks because we never got to see that. We never got General Grievous was introduced in Revenge of the Sith. We never got to see Count Dooku train him, unless
that's true.
Unless they showed that in Clone Wars, which they might have, but I don't remember.
Well, it says that he was originally this warlord who suffered great injuries in a ship crash and then was rebuilt as an alien cyborg.
Is that what it says?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's dope. I want to see that story.
It was in one of the canon Star Wars books. Why didn't they do that as a movie? That would have been sick.
But no, see, it was in one of the canon Star Wars books. Those are all not canon anymore.
They're not canon anymore?
Yeah,
They said they're not
right
anymore.
before Force Awakens, when Disney bought the Star Wars license, they said all Star Wars books are no longer canon. Everything going forward is canon, but anything that wasn't one of the movies beforehand is no longer canon. So
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, me too.
There's probably a ton of stuff they
because there was probably a ton of crazy things. Well, for example, like in the books, Luke had a kid, like 2 kids.
Well, and married what's her butt?
Married some girl that everyone loved too in the books, but yeah, they changed a lot. And then Kylo didn't exist. Han and Leia had a couple kids or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see like General Grievous be built like what if he was built by Count Dooku or like restored by Count Dooku and then he trained him to be like this Jedi. And General Grievous is so cool too because
but we couldn't get Christopher Lee.
I love that it's become a meme, but like the whole scene where he's like, I add another lightsaber to my collection. Have you seen people have memed it where it's like add another meme to my collection? They're like, thank you for this meme. I will add another. I will add it to my collection.
to my collection.
It's pretty funny, but General Grievous is so cool that way. Like a guy that collects Jedi's lightsabers after he kills them. That's cool. And that he's
and he obviously has human eyes. Remember, it's like the skin and like the blood like under. Ooh.
Yeah.
General Grievous is kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm. I'd love General Grievous. Jango Fett. I'm a huge fan of Jango Fett.
I want some sort of Jango or Bobo. Just sort of like a Fett.
Maybe. Yeah, Fett. I mean, that's basically what Mandalorian might be. But
well, I don't think that he'll be a Fett.
Oh yeah, I don't think so either. But it might be in the same vein. Any other characters you would think of?
Named off some really good ones.
Mace Windu would be cool.
Mace. Oh,
dude, I want to know more about Mace Windu. Mace Windu was freaking badass.
That'd be sick. And if they got Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my gosh! And if it's Disney on Disney Plus, they totally could.
Yeah.
But he'd be old Samuel L. Jackson.
No,
so
he doesn't age. It just
that's
shaves.
True.
He's good.
Yeah, they could just do what they did with Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's true. They
Just
did de-age him.
Make him younger. There we go.
Yep.
That'd be interesting to see him like jumping around.
I'd like to see even like a Yoda, because we've always only seen Yoda young. We've never seen him young, or we've always seen Yoda.
We only seen
Yoda's
him
never
young.
been young.
We've always seen Yoda old. We've never seen how he became a Jedi Master, how he became one of the most powerful Jedi.
Yeah, or his species too is really weird. Like we don't see anyone. There's one.
There was
other
that
guy,
one guy
who's the same species.
And I don't. I think he's like
I think he's something
a
else.
genus, like part of the same genus, but like a different
Genus? Is that a word?
Yeah.
That's a funny word.
And biology, like
Genus.
how humans and apes are in the same genus, but we're different species.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because like he had like hair right here and like a different face structure.
Yeah, he looks. I didn't know genus was a word. That's funny.
What?
I mean, I'm the idiot in this situation, but I just think it's a funny word. The last question I have for you guys is what Star Wars what Star Wars game would you like to see made? Like if you could
A straight up open world, like completely like Skyrim open world game.
Who would you have develop it?
Bethesda.
You'd have Bethesda make an open world Star Wars game?
That would be dope. You would get some
just like full on RPG.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I actually agree with Hazen.
I mean, you think about it, like instead of swords, you give them lightsabers.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want Bethesda to. I would actually want Bungie, because Bungie just has history with sci-fi.
I would not want Bungie.
Well, no, because like you look at Halo though. You have to. I'm going off of like Halo.
Yeah, even
I'm
still.
looking for open world, and the best open world games to me
Is
are
Bethesda. Well, yeah.
Skyrim and the Fallouts.
The thing is, the truth is like I would want one that I'd trust more with a sci-fi, because like sure we're getting Starlink, but we haven't seen what Bethesda will do. Right? Bethesda's never really made a sci-fi anything future.
They're about to though.
Yeah.
Starfield.
So I guess we'll see.
That's
I hope Starfield's cool.
Maybe Starfield is a code for Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Do you know how cool that'd be? What if the Star
What
Wars
if they don't release
expires?
it till right after the license?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's Star
Star Wars.
We've secretly been
They're
working
like
with Disney.
Star Warfield. And then they release it and it's like this. It's totally like pushed into there. Like all of a sudden one of the weapons it has no connection to Star Wars, but you can use the lightsaber.
Or like
and the Force.
it was like his name was Dovahkiin, and then the last minute Dovahkiin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And like there was like the normal steel sword, and they just made like a crappy like beam.
Well, actually, he was
You're just crafting iron like ingots,
and somehow it turns into a lightsaber. Like buzz. Yeah.
They're like, actually, he was Count Dooku's kid all along. Wow.
No, but that'd be cool. I think Starlink might actually be. I don't think it'll be Star Wars, but I think it'll be their take on like a Star Wars.
You mean
universe.
Starfield? You said Starlink.
Starfield. Yeah.
I was like Starlink. Already came
like
out.
they'd probably have like beam swords, but they wouldn't be lightsabers. You know.
Yeah.
Because like they'd probably do like a Star
Beam
Wars
swords. What if that's what they call them?
beam swords.
They're like,
Beam
we came out with
swords.
this great original idea. They're called beam swords.
They're called sabers of light.
And they turn on like, and then they're like,
They turn on like
and then they use this thing called the course.
the intercourse.
And then they're called lead eyes. These guys called lead eyes, and there's the Bith.
Okay, you're like that's way too. Our thing is called War Stores, and there's Biff and Lead Eyes, and they have beams of light.
Are you gonna join the Bith or the lead eyes?
The crunk side or the gite side?
Will you use a beam sword or a
gaster?
Are you guys ready for King Balbadine?
or Barth Mater?
What about Dobie Slon Flanobi?
Or Son Holo?
Or Han Solo?
Because it's a normal name. Or Luke
Book Byblocker.
Poop.
Or Poop
Poopy
Butt?
Yeah, we can't name every single Star Wars.
Or what about Poopy Butt?
Poop Star Wars.
What about Captain Grimace?
Our game's called Star Poop Wars Poop Alliance.
And the poop has like where you enter in.
It's super tiny.
No, where like like in language arts where you like use the triangle to enter in a word like you forgot it. So it's like
yeah.
Star Poop Wars, and it's like colored with a crayon.
The last lead eye.
The last Poop Jedi.
The Course Awakens. The last lead eye.
Or they just call it the Elder Scrolls Star Wars.
The fall of Blyblocker.
Live
Anyway, all right.
That got a little.
What Star Wars game would you guys like to see? Yes,
Star Poop Awakens.
How long is this episode?
I'm kidding.
How long are we actually at?
2:30.
220.
Holy freak.
220. That's actually not too.
That's
bad.
not bad. It's
Yeah.
average.
For
We're
us,
ending anyway.
Yeah. For me, I would love to see obviously Naughty Dog, which is just that's the easy answer for just a solid single player story based Star Wars game. I would freaking love that. I'd love them to do an original character, and I'd like them to go to an era we've never seen before, like before the Phantom Menace or way after the Rise of Skywalker.
Well,
something like that.
I know a
Something
game that was
crazy.
really good that was single player based was Force Unleashed. It was actually really good. Had a unique character, apprentice of Darth Vader. So
Yeah. I just love to see. Naughty Dog is so good with story. It's just not even close. Like, I would just love to see them with the Star Wars license. I think that'd be perfect.
I think so too.
Taryn, did you have anyone?
Yeah, I think just
copy
the
paste.
same. I think like open world. I honestly would probably rather see the like more single player where it's like a fully single player heavy game where you have like upgrades and kind of like a Batman. You know, where I guess it's somewhat open world, but just semi. I think that'd fit better with Star Wars. Open world, because like I would say like a loot and shoot Star Wars, but it wouldn't work. And like even like a full open world RPG Star Wars would be hard. Because that's kind of what Knights of the Old Republic is. Or not Knights of the Old... Yes, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love like a semi-open world.
Yeah,
one.
Knights of the Old Republic is straight up an RPG. You create your own Jedi and you choose the dark side or light side. You have you do like separate moves. You attack and then they attack and you attack. It's like the core RPG. So
Yeah, even like a God of War. God of War is not open world at all, but it's semi-open world. Like there are open world elements. That'd be cool.
I'd hope if they did, they'd come out with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3. And that would be the answer to the RPG kind of open world. And then they just do like a Fallen Order where it's more single player and crazy like that. So
Nice. All right. Well, I think that wraps up our Star Wars discussion. That was a good, long discussion we had, and I think that went well.
Yep.
We thank you guys for joining us for our 2.5 hour long Star Wars discussion.
if you're still here, type in Star Poop Wars.
Let us know.
And we will poop on
What
you.
is Luke Skywalker's pseudonym? Like, what, would it be Blyblocker or something? Like,
Yeah. Do you want to see R2-D2 hanging himself in the next episode?
Type comment F if you do.
F in the chat.
F in the chat for R2D2's head.
Type in R2 suicide.
If somebody, nobody's gonna do this, but if somebody freaking photoshopped R2D2 hanging himself,
I would pay you. I would PayPal you
yeah. I would PayPal you like $20.
Yeah. Even if it's crappy, like it's just a noose around.
Here's R2D2,
and it has to be right behind
Luke.
As with his clothes.
Yeah.
As he's dying,
it has to be when Luke's killing himself too. I guess he's not killing
like,
himself.
You know, like when people do like the memes where they just like
I take that back $5.
Or they get in like the bathroom and they wrap the toilet paper around themselves and they like jump and it snaps right before it's like right before it cuts. Do like the same thing with R2D2.
Yeah.
Like right before it drops. Like
that'd be good stuff.
Yeah.
We want to thank you guys for listening. If you're still here, remember you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play Music, all your favorite podcast things, or on YouTube here. If you're watching this video, you're probably watching on YouTube, obviously.
And go check us out on Instagram, Super Basement Bros, Twitter, Super Bros Videos.
At Super Bros Videos.
At Super Bros Videos, yeah.
And please comment, subscribe, like. We really want your guys' feedback. We really want you guys to communicate with the show.
And for real, like, we're serious. We were joking, like, but we're serious. Like, if you actually made it this far, like, we super appreciate that.
Give us
like,
that 5-star rating.
That is super awesome. If you guys like us, let us know if you guys are fans who watch consistently, because we don't know if you just watched this episode. But yeah, thanks for
us topic
supporting
ideas.
If you're watching. I know my future self will be watching at work. Get back to work, you idiot. Go hang yourself like R2D2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wasn't prepared to
kill yourself.
That's probably on Spotify.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, true.
You can't joke about it.
Anyway, F in the chat for R2, our homie. Yep. And,
fist up for R2.
Yeah, fist for R2.
Fist R2.
Fist me.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys next episode.
Bye.
Catch you on the flip side.